Proto, played by... What's your fucking name? Triple Boy.
Nitro.
Say hello.
Type at.
I don't know whether to be offended or not, and that wasn't about the cripple joke either.
Did you
Hi,
forget
everyone.
every single one of his?
Yes.
Isn't there a pill for
Got
that?
like 5 of
Oh,
them.
wrong thing.
Lieutenant Kind,
He
the
said
Chief
that
Medical
couldn't be
Officer,
right.
portrayed by Canadian Syrup. Say hello.
Howdy.
And joining us for the first time, but hopefully not the last time, is Sam, playing Lieutenant Commander Zace. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes. Sure.
And it will become obvious what part they are playing. We
I
start
legit
this
thought that was the name. It's like Sam. I'm like, well, that's okay. We'll go with that.
Breaking the fourth wall, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Draven and hey Zelisk. We start this week in Starbase 11. The Starbase Medical Ward is busy with large amounts of casualties being treated for disruptor burns, battle fatigue, and bat'leth injuries. Lieutenant Kind recalls his triage training stint and knows the situation is grim, far grimmer than anything the Academy could have ever prepared him for. The pained moans and outright screams coming from the wounded are spilling out even into the corridors that serve as an ever-pressing reminder that the Federation is at war with a deadly enemy that they have become far too accustomed to as seeing as their allies, and forgetting the decades of war and strife that has repeated between their two factions over the course of history. As he collects himself from his thoughts, one of the nurses approaches him and hands him a pad so that Lieutenant Kind can oversee the transfer of an extremely ill patient to the Pendragon. Hey, Mug. Lieutenant Kind, this patient is currently in stasis. They're suffering from some unknown terminal illness. Time is of the essence. They need to be transported to Starbase 343 as soon as possible.
Do we have any information on when the patient became ill?
Getting information such as that has been quite hard. They don't appear to be from a Federation world, but they have appeared within a transporter room recently. We are duty-bound to assist them.
Have we made sure we've followed proper quarantine protocols?
Well, as far as we can tell, the stasis field is intact and very little is going to be leaking out.
Well, let's get them moving. We need to get them to Starbase. Was that 314 or 343?
343.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's do with make haste.
Ensure the stasis pod is always powered, otherwise the patient inside may die. No pressure.
Pressure's my middle name.
I thought it was Sandra.
We don't talk.
Meanwhile, Captain Talor has been called into Fleet Captain Bathory's office to be briefed on their assignment and appraised of the war situation against the Klingon Empire. Captain Talor, the war is not going well, with recent heavy losses reported coming in. The U.S.S. Armstrong and the U.S.S. Drake have reported heavy casualties. Ramatis 3 and other systems in both the Beta and Alpha quadrants have fallen to Klingon occupation. We were able to hold the line at Ganolda thanks to Captain Perfetto and the Mordred. This, however, seems to have done nothing to quell the Klingons' bloodlust, as they have taken Arcanus 4, seemingly in revenge for their loss at Ganolda. This is a war unlike anything the Federation has had to fight in some decades, and something we always hoped to avoid. We are explorers, not the military. Also, strangely, there seems to be far less than usual traffic around Romulan space. Perhaps they chanced to let the guard down slightly due to the ongoing conflict with the Klingons, but Starfleet intelligence is remaining vigil. Enough of such grave news, though. Captain Talor, your Chief Medical Officer, is currently overseeing the transfer of a critically ill patient to the Pendragon. We are unable to treat them here. Our medical facilities are overrun with wounded. You must therefore take this patient to Starbase 343 where they can be treated. Be careful. You'll be traveling along the Klingon front lines. It is the fastest way to Starbase 343. If you are engaged by the Klingons, I suggest you fight them. The Pendragon should be more than a match for anything you find on the way. The rest of Task Force Camelot is currently indisposed, so you will be on your own for this one. In addition, we believe we have someone suitable to take on the role of Chief Engineer aboard the Pendragon. I suggest you allow them to make extensive use of the engineering station on the bridge until they've at least become accustomed to the way you run your ship.
The manifest been sent over already.
Manifest, did you say?
Service record.
It should be available for you on your pad.
And the patient's medical history and records have been made available to the med bay.
As much information as we have has been transferred over to Lieutenant Kind.
Is there concern of transmission of this unknown illness?
Concern, yes, but as long as the stasis field remains intact, it should be completely safe.
So you're saying do not lose power.
Correct.
Well, we do that very well.
Although I would suggest
And-
not losing power generally in space is considered a good idea and good practice.
That is a human joke.
Yes.
Understand that humor.
I'm glad you get that reference.
And once we transfer the patient, are we to return?
Post haste.
And are we running radio silence?
You needn't worry too much about radio silence, but there are Klingons aplenty out there.
I feel like they are becoming our new best friends.
The people of Ganalda certainly disagree.
I was attempting a lighter note.
Intriguing.
I will try
I was
harder
unaware that
next time.
I was unaware that Vulcans tried lighter notes.
Apparently, we're not very good at it.
That I have heard.
And other than the patient and the new recruit, no further news of note.
There is nothing of note yet.
Well, best be on our way then.
Dismissed,
Again?
Captain.
Been a pleasure.
It has been
And
an
I
efficient
salute
use of resources.
And turn around and walk out.
Where would you like to meet Commander Zace? On the bridge or in the starbase?
Where is she currently?
They're currently in the starbase.
Okay. I think I'll just wait until she's on the ship. Whatever last minute R&R time they have, I'll let them have, and then we'll meet once we're in an official capacity on the ship.
Very well. Captain Talor heads to the bridge of the Pendragon to meet with the rest of the bridge crew, including newly transferred Lieutenant Commander Zace. Protu is also at the helm. Lieutenant Kind is in
Aw.
sick bay. God knows or fears what he's been doing down there.
What he's been injecting.
Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Captain,
Lieutenant.
I wanted to brief you on my measures that I took to contain and make sure the patient is no threat to our crew. I've devised a 3-stage field protocol, meaning there is one field right on the bed itself, one with a 3-meter radius, and one with the entire ward sealed off as well. As long as we maintain at least one of the fields, we don't need to worry about the patient and its possible illness being contagious to the rest of the crew.
Have you quarantined off sickbay for now, or you just cordoning off a portion?
Just a portion for now. We have isolated the patient in one of the wards in a different room entirely, and are using that room as our containment field for that patient. I'm still undergoing the preliminary analysis of the patient. I unfortunately don't have anything to report at this moment, but I am looking to do some computations shortly as far as what we're dealing with at this time.
The patient's stable from what you can see.
Right now, but that could change at any point in time.
Have a feeling that this patient is of some kind of importance, since we've been tasked with transferring this patient to Starbase 343.
Well, so as long as we maintain power, and if possible, in the event that there is a sudden power loss, ensure that there is a small reserve dedicated to the medical bay in the event that we do lose power, and that force field could be maintained. At least one of the 3.
Thankfully, we have the technology for such redundancies, but hopefully we'll not come to that. Thank you for your report. Please let me know if anything changes.
Yeah, we're good.
Moments later, Lieutenant Commander Zace appears on the bridge to introduce himself to Talor.
Hello,
Lieutenant Commander.
Captain. I'm Lieutenant Commander Zace, here to be your new chief engineer.
So I've so been informed. You will find a very competent crew, and I hope you find yourself a home aboard our ship for however long it will be. Is there anything we can help you with at this time?
I'm aware that you guys haven't had an engineer previously.
They seem to come and go, but no one dedicated. Everybody here has probably taken their own turn at that position, but nothing has stuck yet.
All right,
When
then.
I'm looking at Zace, what am I seeing?
Half Aurelian, half Rizian, probably about 5'3", kind of stunted wings folded up against the back. Kind of fidgety, I guess. Is that it?
Are you of a nervous type?
No, I just like to keep moving.
Oh, good. An abundance of energy. We love crew members that are motivated. If there's anything we can do to help you, a tour possible, or if there's anything you need, just let one of us know.
I guess I'd like to check out the engines and make sure everything's okay after the parade of engineers and non-engineers going through it.
Please do. They have been lacking in a decent inspection.
Almost on cue, Pro 2 kind of steps into the conversation holding a data pad. Captain, I have recently finished looking over the ship once more. It's a habit of mine. And then I look to Zace, see the uniform, and go, yes, an engineer. Would you like to double check my work?
Absolutely, sure.
And I'll hand you the data pad.
I will take it.
Lieutenant Commander
Fortuitous
Zace.
timing, Pro 2. We are on our way to Starbase 343. I do believe we will be underway shortly here. Once our cargo is aboard and completely secure, I do believe that Lieutenant Kind is just finishing transferring the patient.
Excellent. As soon as Commander Zace, was it, is finished looking over my data, I will begin setting a course.
Captain, transfer is complete. Standing by for your further orders.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kind. Please apprise us of any changes. Otherwise, I will assume everything is status quo. And I hope to make sure it is a non-bumpy ride. Right, Pro 2?
I sure hope not. We are in space. There are no bumps.
Unless you hit an android or something. I mean, an asteroid.
It's an android.
Yeah, I mean, there could be those too, but
Poor Pro 2, he's shooting him out of the Jeffrey's tubes already.
What was that? Oh, that was. Oh. We won't talk about it.
If Pro 2's outside the ship, who's flying it?
Obviously, nobody
rights.
qualified.
That was always true.
Uh, ooh.
Lieutenant Kyan steps onto the bridge, takes a seat in one of the chairs near the captain. He looks over to the captain. Are we ready for a fun-filled adventure again, sir?
You, by any chance, smelling colors?
Lieutenant Kyan looks at his hands briefly. Not this time.
you can do that.
An experiment gone awry.
Sounds fun.
That's what you get with someone with a functional substance abuse problem.
Functional.
I mean, everything is functional as long as you're not dead.
Meet some of my exes.
I'd rather not, to be honest.
Don't blame you, they're not functional.
Damn. I don't know if you should be admitting that.
Pro 2. Shall we disembark? Starbase
Yes,
343, please.
yes, Zace, did you have time to look over my data?
I'm assuming I did.
If you do for me, I should probably pop a character sheet, shouldn't I?
Hmm.
Insight, engineering, please. Task roll 2, complication range 1.
How do I do that?
So,
Under,
on your character sheet, just on attributes, click Insight. Under Discipline, click Engineering. Go over to Dice Roller, select Task Roll for 2, complication range of 1, and then just press the little Starfleet button next to Task Roll. Fine.
Did I do
You
it
look
right?
over the data on the pad, and you find that the engines are functioning at 100% of efficiency. There seems to be nothing out of the ordinary on them, which is kind of surprising given that they haven't had a decent engineer for all this time, but is a testament to
Oh.
Starfleet engineering.
Or pure luck.
Then,
Everything looks good.
Captain,
Surprisingly enough.
I
No
will
offense.
chart a course right away. None offense taken, should I have? As I'm
Um,
punching in the data.
I don't know what you take offense at. Oh,
Most of the time I
if
have
none
to
is
ask.
taken?
Yeah, a lot of people say no offense to me, so I often have to ask if I should.
More of like a precautionary sentence, I think.
Hmm. Fascinating.
Weird.
Station number 343, correct, Captain?
343, correct.
Do I have to roll anything, Shiv?
What warp factory are you heading out at?
Captain, what warp speed should we be?
What's the distance?
At warp 9, it would take you about 7 or 8 hours.
I don't believe we are in an incredible hurry. We do have to get the patient there as soon as we can, but we also have to try and consider a path of stealth as well. We will be close to the Klingon territory, and we would try our best not to engage them if possible. I do believe Warp 7 will be efficient.
Warp 7, Station 343.
Is there anything you wish to talk about on your journey?
I look at the data pad that I have with Zace's service record. Does anything jump out at me?
You tell us, Lieutenant Commander Zace. You've had some events in your career so far, I believe.
Nothing like. Not that I know of. Anything would jump out at you.
No disciplinary
Normal.
action. No service awards.
I don't believe so.
No commendations.
Lieutenant Kind leans over to Captain, whispers, I can make him talk.
I doubt it.
No.
I don't. No.
I kind of give Kind a pointed look and said, not everybody is ticklish.
Lieutenant Kind's eyes go a bit wide. You and I have very different methods of making people talk.
And I just give him the Vulcan look like,
Lieutenant Kind slowly reclines back to his chair. I think, you know what? I'm going to go check on my patient real quick. I'll be back.
is there a reason you left sickbay in the first place?
Yes, because we were running our primary diagnostic on the patient and just seeing if there was any preliminary results that would appear, but it would take us about 10-15 minutes to complete, so I decided to check with the bridge to see if anything was needed.
We do have such things called communicators, but I guess humans do need to stretch their legs once in a while.
I'm always a face-to-face person. I've had some bad problems with technology in the Lieutenant Kind gets up, walks to the walks to the elevator.
Transport yourself.
Sorry,
Turbo.
Sorry.
You're gonna transport yourself to the midday.
Yeah.
One to beam
Site
up.
transport everywhere.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you though?
Well, if he was anything like another doctor, he wouldn't going anywhere by transporter.
This is all.
And in most recent season of Discovery, they actually do just site-to-site transport everywhere.
Oh, that's what it was. I was trying to remember. Like, okay, I've seen this where they literally just go, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna teleport like 5 feet." Cool.
You might as well just walk the 3 steps.
That's why
But
they
then
don't
it
have
means you have to walk.
bathrooms. They just transport the waste out into space.
You're shitting me.
Not anymore.
That like gets rid of like locked room mysteries because you could just transport into a room and then transport out.
Yeah, tell me about it.
That gimmick that solved every problem on every Star Trek episode.
What, going in and out?
The
No,
Pendragon
it's just like
carries on cruising up warp for several hours, talking about locked room mysteries, and eventually they are ambushed by a Klingon ship.
Wait, in warp?
Yeah.
It appears we were not stealthily enough, Captain.
who was playing the music too loud? Some Klingon opera, maybe?
It was
They
Macarena,
make
Captain.
good music. Very throaty.
Oh boy.
Pendragon is ambushed by a Negvar class warship. I will allow you
I
to
sneezed and I thought you said Knickerbocker.
I will allow you to nominate turn order and go first.
Well, Eric's not here, so he can't go first. How about Pro2, Zace, Kind, and then me?
And I figured out the turn order for Starship Combat so we can do this properly now.
Yay!
So we're relearning the relearn.
No, the only difference is it goes you, enemy, you, enemy, you, enemy.
How'd we do it before?
I think it was all 4 of our turns, and then
you, enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that
That
seems
was
over.
and that was why you were basically annihilating the enemy ships really quickly.
But it was fun. It was just like,
Oh.
and then
Ensign Pro 2,
With those sound
Oh,
effects.
shoot, yeah.
who I've actually fucked up on the layout. Oops.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. But I was just waiting. Okay, I've got con reference up.
if you think my sound effects are fantastic, you should wait until we actually start using the real one.
I didn't say they were fantastic. I just said with those specific sound effects.
I am going to go ahead and take evasive action, which is control con. Any difference in complication range of task roll? Just
Nope.
1 and 2. Oh, I have a focus in starship piloting. And click the button to roll. And then click on the ship.
That's difficulty 1 task, I believe. Difficulty
Correct, yes.
2. Difficulty 1.
1, yeah.
And that's a +1 difficulty modifier to hit you.
It's on my next turn.
Okay. The Negvar ship is simply going to close in on you to there. Now it is Lieutenant Commander Zace.
Okay.
Under your journal.
There are sheets in the
Und-
journal that you can look at.
Under journal, under
Yeah.
handouts, you have handy references which will tell you absolutely everything you can do at each station. You can transfer command of a certain station to you, wherever you are on the bridge, for a free turn. For free.
Trying to figure out which one is the best one to bring up.
Probably communications and internal systems reference. The engineer.
Yeah. Under journals, there's one that says comms reference. Just click that and it'll open up a window of. It'll have all the different actions you can take. Is it one minor action, one major action, or is it
Major
I can't
action?
remember.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. I guess put the shields up? Regenerate shields?
Shields are already at full.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't
Yeah,
sure what to find.
power and shields are. Well, we're at -1 power, but that's it. Shields are full.
I guess I'll just assist somebody for now since I don't really know.
You can also skip your turn.
Oh yeah.
If you want to hold your turn, you can say, okay, I will hold my turn for later. You will have to take it before the end of the round, but it just means if there's something you want to maybe try later, you can see what we do before you.
Yeah, and you can full on just pull it out whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Roll on.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fine. Klingon ship. It's going to move 2 zones. Oh, actually. The Klingon ship is going to do evasive maneuvers.
Ooh.
They've never done that before.
Well, that's shit. Are we in line of
That
sight right
is-
now, or are we blocked by the asteroid?
You have an asteroid in the way, which increases difficulty by another +1.
So we'd have to move.
Lieutenant Kind.
Yes. I will scan for weakness. That's control science difficulty. Is it going to be 2 because of the asteroid?
No,
So
not
1.
scan. Scan is
Okay.
fine. That's difficulty 1. So
Okay.
control science difficulty 1, please.
Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button.
No, that's right. Control and science. Oh, you got it. Oh, I see.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that button.
And you get 2 momentum. So you've got piercing 2. The Negvar. Negvar's going to regenerate some power. Fuck it. Captain Law.
Can I turn this into a social conflict?
You can attempt to, but the Klingons have never been up for negotiation in the past and generally would prefer to just die in the ship.
They usually negotiate.
Negotiate
Apparently, the
what,
medical
sorry?
officer is going to overrule the storyteller, okay?
Well, I just feel like we never considered that, and then the last time we played, we actually entered
Nope.
into a social conflict, one of us, and we actually outruled them.
That wasn't
Did,
the
but-
Klingons, though, was it?
Yeah, those
No,
were
but
Gorn.
it was another really aggressive species.
I mean, you can try it, but the storyteller has told you it's probably not a good idea.
You're no fun.
I can
Oh,
try something.
if I have to.
I can.
So movement, is that a minor or a major action?
If you move one zone, it's minor. Any more than one zone, and it's your turn.
Would the asteroid be considered a hazard?
Yes.
And I chart a hazard.
What
You
was that?
can. Let me just look up what the fuck it does.
Nominate a single hazard or other dangerous phenomenon nearby. The difficulty of any task to avoid that hazard is reduced by 2.
Does that?
But at the same time, when have we ever had a problem going around a rock?
Yeah, it's more so it's just in our firing line. It's not really a hazard to us. But if you did move them, I'm assuming a minor space would be like that little spot right
one square.
there.
Yeah.
So to our right, is that an asteroid field or is that just like minor space debris?
That is an asteroid field.
So we'd have to go left.
Fucking
Or chart the
Christ,
hazard.
you loud ass cars.
Thought you blew something up, Zace.
Fucking, I have a window open because it's hot in my room, and just two assholes with their fucking loud ass cars just decided to go at fucking 80 down the side of the road or something.
Okay, I will move.
Those teenage Klingons again. I tell you, every
Goddamn
time.
assholes.
Roaming around in
All
the
hours of the
cosmos.
night.
Well, it is space, so there's no night.
So major action, I'd get to move like 2.
Yes.
Okay, I want to clear the asteroid to the left then.
Okay. Whereabouts are you going?
Right
Would it be
there,
1, 2, or
like there. Is that 2?
That's one.
That's 1.
okay.
What about here?
That's in the middle.
As in 1.5?
You gotta go a full. Which square do
Yeah,
you
I
want?
gotta be inside.
There.
Oh, those are squares. Okay, so they'd be like right here.
Yeah, that's
They're
fine.
round squares.
Okay.
Round squares.
Can't I turn him?
Yeah.
Can I turn him?
It's the little above. There's like a little node coming off of it. If you grab that, you can rotate.
Oh, there we go. Okay, like that.
Okay. So the Negvar is going to fire disruptor cannons at you.
Oh, bad bastard.
At -1.
Yep.
Or plus
Which
1.
increase it to a 3. I'm going to put up some extra power. I'm going to spend some threat.
Ooh.
Lovely. You take 4 damage to your shields as disruptor energy resonates
Got it.
along the Pendragon shields.
What a piece of shit.
And at this point, the whole crew's all shaking, and the camera's like, ugh. And that is the end of round 1.
Zace didn't go.
Yep. She readied up. They readied up, and that's the end of the round.
By the way, it looked really awkward when I was the only one shaking in my chair because, I thought this was all of us, and then I just looked like I'm having an attack.
Pro 2.
I'm going to evasive maneuver again because if I do it consecutively, it does not cost any power. So there is my roll and the ship's roll. And I manually have to correct the ship's power.
And you get a momentum. Lovely. The neck bar is going to fire disruptor cannons at you again. Difficulty 3. Just burn a bit of power on them.
Ship's finally shows.
Pardon, sorry? Pro 2?
Ship's finally getting to hit us and it shows.
The Negvar powers up its disruptor cannons, firing off into space, but thanks to Pro 2's magnificent evasive piloting, each shot runs slightly wide of making impact upon the Pendragon shields. Lieutenant Commander Zace.
So I can fire weapons if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew 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 pew.
Pew, pew,
I guess
pew,
could I do that?
pew, pew, pew.
Phasers or torpedoes. I recommend phasers on shields.
Yeah. And torpedoes are more difficult too, so.
And they
Okay.
also give me threat.
Alright, let's do that then.
5 phasers?
Mhm.
Control. Security. This is difficulty 2.
Find out where I put my shit. So I click control and security and
Complication range 1, task roll 2, and then a little Starfleet button.
And if you think any of your focuses might have. Oh, that's fine.
Okay. And select the ship, and select fire phasers.
Just click on the little
The
ship.
Pendragon.
yeah, no, my computer froze for half a second.
Oh,
and then
awkward.
fire
Fire the faces!
the photon? No. Fire phasers.
Oh.
Phasers.
Phasers.
Fire everything!
Input value. What?
Oh, that's if you want to spend extra power to do more damage and whatnot.
Would you
Oh.
not?
Okay.
You can if you
We're
want.
at 15 of 16 power.
Okay, that's an impact. I don't know why I didn't play the sound effect, mostly because it hates me.
Oh. Didn't the complication cancel out the first one?
What
No, that's-
complication?
That's not how complication
No,
works.
she rolled high enough.
Oh, okay, I see.
So, Lieutenant Zace, Lieutenant Commander Zace, inputs the Pendragon to fire its phasers upon the Negvar. Unfortunately for them, their finger slips at the very last moment, and they end up wasting an extra chunk of power, but the phaser beam still manages to make impact upon the Negvar and does 7. No damage to the shields. Hello, Ken Daddy. And Nitro, if you could drop off an extra power on the Pendragon, please, for the complication.
Oh, an extra power? Oh, because of complication. Gotcha.
The Negvar is going to regen some power. And that brings us to Lieutenant Kind.
I Let's see. So I have to rescan for weakness, right? If I want to have it still
Correct.
utilized. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Okay. Lovely. That's a success.
Ooh,
And a momentum increase.
Yay!
that's actually 2 successes. 3 successes. Sorry, you probably accounted
No.
for that. I'm talking to myself.
Oh.
The ship rolled a nat 1, so it was 2 successes.
I was gonna say, is
I got
there
excited.
Android malfunctioning again?
Oh! I'm sorry, were you going to let me storytell?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I don't know why I bother.
Speaking of, oh wait,
Nekvar
no. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
is going to do evasive maneuvers. And just barely manages to pull it.
Kind of wish it could
Captain Talor.
maneuver itself into an asteroid.
Captain Talor.
I'm gonna regenerate some shields. Is my
Control. Engineering.
okay. 2 and 2. Application range
Complication
of
range
2.
is 1. Task roll is 2. Lovely. And hit the shield button, please, Stormy.
Punch it, Stormy.
Stormy button shield.
Hit Stormy, hit her.
Set. Generate shields.
Yay!
Wonderful.
Do we want to spend another momentum to re-roll for more or no?
You can spend the 1 momentum you earn for 2 more shields. You have gained back 2 shields, and if you want to spend the momentum you just got, you can get another 2.
We're only
for
2
4.
down, so if we spend
Okay.
another 2, then we're full.
Mm-hmm.
What's our power at?
12 out of 16.
And you've hit
Oh.
maximum momentum. So you may restore your shields to full as the end of the second round. Which brings us back to Proto.
As it seems to be working for the most part, I'm going to evasive maneuver again.
Did the Negvar take its turn?
No. Thank you.
Okay.
Damn
I'm
it!
trying to be fair.
It's
yeah,
going to
that's
regen some power.
See, if I play nice, he might play nice with us at one point. Probably not, but
Sometimes you just gotta,
I
As
don't
he's
know
look-
what this means, but that looked very, very
don't
vulgar.
worry. He was looking down, so he won't know.
Difficulty of 1. Your momentum is capped. And it is now... Oh yeah, do you want to do the ship roll, please?
Actually, our momentum is capped and whatnot, and it's not going to cost any power anyway, so I won't
Yes, it
push the
does.
button. No, because if I
Ah.
evasive maneuver,
Consecutively, yep.
Mhm.
That brings us to the Negvar. Negvar is going to remodulate shields.
It's a new one.
Someone's getting fancy with their sound effects.
Mm. I like.
Lieutenant Commander Zace.
I guess I'll just fire again. I keep closing the goddamn tab. Security. Yeah.
I'd reroll that.
You can spend momentum
Yeah, we have enough momentum.
to reroll dice.
Red
Okay.
bad.
Red bad.
It's 1 momentum to reroll 1 dice. 2 momentum. Is it that? Let me just double check.
Yeah, I thought that the costs went higher and higher.
The red zeros are complications, so he can make life really
Mhm.
tough.
Okay.
That's why your last shot costs
So
the
if you
extra
don't
power.
have a success balanced off with that red zero,
So it's 1
Okay.
momentum to reroll 1 dice, and it's 2 momentum to reroll 2 dice, and so on and so on. Because I can't find the actual sheet.
We have 6, so
it's up to you if
So
you want to
that's-
roll just the red zero or if you want to reroll both. Because if you
How
do
would
get
I-
a success, then you can probably end up with another momentum anyway. So
the task roll on your die roller is how many dice you roll. So if you just switch that to 1 to reroll 1, or keep it at 2 to reroll both.
Okay, I guess I'll just re-roll the 1 then, since that's the bad one.
So, control, security,
Sorry.
task roll 1, complication range 1. Perfect. And if you do the ship 5 phases, please.
Hey. Same thing, no dice. No...
There it is.
Oh god.
And that is the Pendragon fires its phases under Zaze's command. Unfortunately, the Negvar is able to easily maneuver out of the way of the incoming phase energy beam, and they miss completely. The Negvar No, the Negvar's just going to fire cannons.
Son of a.
The Negvar lines up his disruptor cannons, taking careful, skilled aim at the Pendragon, managing to impact upon the shields, and does 10. 16 damage. Your resistance is futile.
Okay, I forgot.
10 shield damage.
I forgot about our resistance, but I heard 16. I was like, that's all of our shield.
You have a resistance of 6,
Game
so the
over.
overall damage
Game
is 10.
over.
Yeah,
Oof.
I think. Yeah,
Oof.
that's correct.
Oof.
Lieutenant Kind,
Oh,
how
boy,
kind
oh.
are you?
Well, shit's pretty bad, so I'm gonna regenerate some shield.
Regen
So.
shields. Control, engineering, difficulty 1.
Cool. That's fantastic. I don't even know if I want to even bother. Amazing.
You get no shields. You have to have at least one. You have to have at least one success on your main roll in
Oh,
order
I
to
know.
get the something from the assist roll. And I
Yeah.
don't think it doesn't actually cost power to regenerate shields.
How much momentum do we have still?
You have
5, I think.
Is it too
6.
late to reroll?
Sam used 1,
No,
so it should be
your
5.
That's
Your
fair.
turn's not over yet.
Technically, it should be, but I'll let you. I like you.
Daddy
See,
nuts.
this is what you get for playing fair.
Okay, I'll just reroll one die. Never mind. Fucking waste my time. Anyways, next turn.
The Negvar is going to fire its disruptor array at you. You did the invasive maneuvers. That's 3.
Mhm.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh, that's 3, isn't it? I always get confused on the enemy ship numbers.
9. That does 10 damage to the Pendragon's shields as a disruptor array leaves the Negvar and makes impact upon the Pendragon.
We only had 8.
So you take 4 damage. Lovely.
So this is what real combat's like.
Well, you have a breach on your structure.
Gotcha.
So
It'll be
mark
med bay,
breach.
and then we won't have to worry about the patient.
No, then we all die.
2 seconds into our trip.
Fail.
You have 3 breaches on a particular system. That system is then damaged. If you have 6 breaches on a system, it's disabled. If you have 7 breaches on a system, it's destroyed.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there's only 6 dots under each one, so that makes sense.
Good thing we got a new engineer.
All right, recruit, get to work.
And that brings us to Captain Talor.
What's the chances we could warp out of here?
Very slim.
Okay, I thought I'd ask.
Warp.
Oops, I did not mean to hit that button. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I'll just try and regenerate some shields.
Okie dokie.
Thanks, D20.
This is what happens when CS presses a button.
It plays the audio over and over and over.
Well, it's kind of soothing. It sounds like a ship.
What was that one that was remodulated? Shield
Beep, boop, boop.
frequencies. Okay, if you want to reset the power there for me, please. Rotate.
Mhm.
I've noticed that sometimes it plays a particular sound effect over and over again because someone else hit it. If I press it, then it suddenly works.
Magic touch.
So that's control and engineering.
Yes. Or you can use daring.
Um,
No, that's power management. Control and engineering. Difficulty 1. Wonderful. And if you do
Nice.
the ships, please, you can use any momentum you gain on this roll to immediately add 2 shields. You may regain 4 shields in total if you wish to spend the momentum you just got.
Absolutely, let's go for it.
Okay. Regen 4 shields for me, please.
Mhm.
And the Negvar is going to regenerate some power.
Someone overloaded the fuse box.
It attempts to regenerate power, successfully managing to regain 1 power and is unable to gain any more power because the Klingons ended up being distracted by a particularly attractive-looking Targ that wandered onto the bridge.
I thought one too many Klingons plugged in the hair dryers.
All the curling irons.
That luscious hair.
Ensign Pro 2.
I'm gonna change it up and go pew pew with the phasers.
Ooh. That is difficulty 2, please.
What's the combo again?
Controls. Control security.
Security. Yep. Okay, that's what I thought it was. And this doesn't count as piloting, right?
Correct.
Okay, turn the focus off. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, there we go.
And if you could do the ship one for me, please.
Mm.
Bah.
Drop another power. And you do 11.
Mhm. All right, 7 of 16 power to let everybody know.
The Pendragon fires his phasers under Pro 2's command, impacting upon the Negbar shields. Finally. And does
That's never a good look.
7 shield damage to the
Oh.
Negbar.
For us, it wasn't like a -2.
The Negvar is going to regenerate some shields.
Ooh.
And it's going to regenerate.
I want to know what
6.
kind of dice they're using, because that seems like some pretty damn good dice they got.
Which brings us back
The lighty
to
yuppie ones.
Lieutenant Commander Zace.
I'm
We're
gonna-
at 7 of... Yeah, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna update on you, but you sound like you have something to do. So
I was just gonna regen shields, I guess.
Regen shields is control. Engineering difficulty 1, please. Task roll 2, complication range 1.
You probably have really high engineering compared to some of us.
Control. Engineering. 2, 1, go.
That's brilliant. And do the Pendragon's regenerate shields, please.
Gen shield.
You may
Yay.
regain up to 4 shields if you so wish. Otherwise, you can
Yes.
take just 2.
Mhm.
Plus 4 shields
Done.
to the Pendragon. The Negvar is going to let rip with disruptor cannons upon the Pendragon, which is difficulty 2. The Negvar fires off its disruptor cannons, each volley making impact upon the Pendragon, and does 12 damage.
We have 8.
You get a breach on the structure again.
Oh, good. That's 2.
Just 1.
Just 1.
Okay.
Technically,
You
it
said
should be
the
2, but I'm going easy on you.
And it gets something. Something happens at 3, correct?
Yes, the system is damaged.
Okay. Okay.
Which
time
brings us to
We've been
Lieutenant
using those
Kind.
rules.
What just happened? Why did you just exit out of shit?
So yeah, I want to hit the bastard. But we also got nothing to really save us.
I'm gonna be throwing you soon out that hole.
We're at 0
Mhm.
shields and our power is getting pretty low.
Yeah.
I just keep trying to reiterate power because it's not visible on the tokens. So
Let's have to. Let's regenerate shields.
Okay, regenerate shields. It's difficulty 1. And if you do the ship's task for me, please, of regen shields. You may regen up to 4. 2 or 4.
Do it.
mhm.
4 shields to the Pendragon,
Hey.
please. The Negvar is also going to regen some power. Which it doesn't successfully manage. Which brings us to Captain Talor.
Can I repair breach? Does that be
Can.
restore?
No, maybe.
No, that. I feel like a breach is something you'd have to have fixed at a dock.
No, not technically, because I'm looking at this and it says, all engineering tasks to repair systems are +2 comp range and resistance is -1. The difficulty to repair is 3
Ah, yes, you
because
can,
we're at
but only
damaged.
when it's actually damaged. Right now, it isn't damaged.
Oh,
It's
okay. I
damaged
thought
at
we were
3
at
breaches.
second one. Oh, okay.
And you are right, that is restore. Apparently.
We're vulnerable on power, Captain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but what's more important, our power or shields right now?
Yeah.
Because pretty soon they'll be lobbing soda cans at us and it'll go through. I'll regen some shields.
Okay. Control, engineering difficulty 1, please.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And do the shield roll on the ship, please.
Oh.
Okay, you may restore 2 shields.
Better than nothing.
Don't worry, Shiv will hit us again, and we'll be dead.
The Negvar is going to fire with its disruptor array.
Well, damn.
Wasn't as much damage as last time. Still a lot of damage.
Does
We're
8
still gonna take
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we take.
Then we got
2
another
extra.
breach.
So yeah, 2. Yeah,
How many shields did you
we had
have?
6.
We had 6.
It's not a breach.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because of our resistance. No, yeah.
It's got to have over a certain amount of damage after it's put the shields down. But if you haven't got any shields and it does a hit, then it's an automatic breach. Then if it does over 5 damage, it's another automatic breach on top of that. However, as the last hit from the disruptor array makes impact upon the Pendragon finds itself losing power.
oh.
Main power goes offline. Life support is on emergency power.
Great. Contagious patient on board.
All your systems
Oh,
are
boy.
currently offline.
Just as I was
Wow.
about to try a fancy maneuver too.
Lieutenant Kind, where are you on the bridge?
Presently, yes, but I am
dear.
scrambling to get back to the medical bay.
You won't now. Turbo lifts won't work. No power.
Isn't there a
So-
service shaft?
You can go through the Jeffries tubes, but you're going to be climbing a lot of decks.
Not that many. There's only 24 on a Sovereign class.
Well,
I
patient's life is in danger. I must tend to them.
I'm not worried about the patient. I'm worried about us. How's your cardio fitness?
Just fine, Captain. I can make that trek no problem.
some sort of Star Trek.
So I guess I'm making my way down to the medical bay. I have no idea in proximity to the bridge how far down it is, so I'm assuming that
I think it's about 11 or 12 decks. If you do for me, fitness, security, complication
I don't
range,
think I've
2,
ever heard anyone
task
do
roll
a
2.
fitness roll yet.
Sorry, what was the last two?
Complication
Patient said-
range 2, task roll 2.
I am so gonna fail. This is so bad. Watch. I'm gonna break a leg. Watch what happens. Here we go.
Can I assist him?
What? No way.
That's fine.
Gonna be
Uh,
like, I'll throw him down the tube.
My fitness is 7, so I'm
I
surprised
think
that
that would
went well.
help.
You will eventually be able to make your way to sickbay using door override tools to force doors open and crawl through Jeffrey's tubes, but you are no longer on the bridge. Meanwhile, upon the bridge, Captain Talor and the rest of the senior staff have to figure out just what the fuck's going on and whether or not they're still in danger because of the Klingon ship.
Lieutenant Commander Zace, would you like to assist me in trying to see what caused the power outage?
Absolutely.
We have no computer, no nothing at all. Everything is just a dead stick.
It's all dark.
Life's,
Oh yeah.
if you do for
Battery's
me,
dead.
Ensign Pro 2, Insight Engineering, Complication Range 1,
Uh-huh.
Task Roll 2. Lieutenant Commander Zace, if you could do Insight and Engineering, Complication Range 1, Task Roll 1, please.
Does my focus in repair and tinkering count?
Nope.
Oh,
Because
that
you're not
doesn't
repairing
matter
or
anyway.
tinkering, you're diagnosing.
Yeah,
Does any
it's
of
fine.
my focuses do anything?
They would, but unfortunately, you don't get a roll now because Ensign Pro 2 rolled like poo.
Oh, I don't get a.
Oh, sorry. I didn't get any successes, so you can't even assist.
Yeah. Simple as that.
I want to roll my real dice now.
But there's nothing stopping Lieutenant Commander Zace from attempting to diagnose the problem.
I mean, okay, I wasn't sure. Can I do that then?
Absolutely
It
fine.
just means, yeah, Nitro can't go again.
Ah,
Until
Insight.
somebody else tries.
Insight, Engineering, Complication Range of 1, Task Roll 2, please.
Okay.
and
Would any
yes,
of my
you're-
focuses?
Yes, they would. So you can apply a focus.
Cool. How do I do that?
Where it says focus used, set it to yes. It increases your chances of getting a critical success.
Okay. Boop.
There
Ooh,
you go.
nice.
I did a thing.
It's a good thing.
Lieutenant Commander
Did a
Zace
good
analyzes the situation using a personal tricorder and finds that life support is on emergency power. Turbo lifts are offline. The computer is offline. The main computer will need to be brought online. Basic sensors are online. Everything else, however, is currently offline.
Everything
And-
but the computer.
Computer is offline.
Life
Engineering
support's the only
reports.
thing.
Engineering reports that the warp core is offline. The dilithium crystal articulation frame has been completely fused. Sensors. Oh, you haven't asked that. Okay.
I guess we should probably get heading down to engineering to try and help them
Fix.
out.
Fix shit.
Yes, indeed. Fix shit. And I'll begin going down the same way that Lieutenant Khan went down.
Same, I guess.
I
Try
feel
and
like you
get through
can
the-
climb faster than he can.
I just want to point
little
out to
bit.
you that the sensors, basic sensors, are online, and there is a Negvar ship about 20 feet away from you, filled with bloodthirsty
Yeah.
Klingons. I don't think either character's first reaction would be, let's go to engineering and see what's going on there.
It's true.
I feel like we need to get weapons back online.
Yeah, we might have to fight them blind. Literally.
I'm going to repeat, the basic sensors are online.
Sensors are online. We wouldn't be blind.
Right, but yeah. I
I feel like
forget
we
that
need
that's-
main power, though.
The sensors are online. And
Proto, do
something I'm bad at, probably.
probably insight, no, reason. Which is better, insight or reason?
So, oh, actually, reason, yeah.
Reason, science for me, please.
Hey, that's a little bit better. Complication.
Complication range of 1, task roll 2.
Okay.
Wonderful. Proto has this ingenious epiphany to use the sensors to ascertain the status of the Negbar warship to see what status they're at and if the ship is still in danger.
I repeat that to everybody on the bridge.
The sensors say
Well, we would have to tap into them, but currently the computer is offline, so we will have to probably tap into them using some other means. Can I tap into them using the tricorder?
I mean, you wouldn't have to use a tricorder. You could, because the sensors are still online, you could still use them on your panel.
Right.
On the operations panel. Or the engineering panel.
Oh, okay.
Or
I'm
science
just
panel.
confused because with the main computer being on, I don't know how I'm supposed to interface with anything. I think that's where the confusion is coming from. I'm imagining everything's turned off.
The outcasts
Yeah.
will have a backup emergency system because, I mean, life
Full
support
dark.
is on, so
Okay, then yeah, I
Everything
would go to
all
basic
the
functions.
yeah, I would go to the nearest panel that's on and start
Just no
trying
playing
to
Gallagher.
scan yeah.
Do for me insight, science, please, Pro2. Complication range is 2. Task roll is 2.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Perfect. Sensors show the Klingon vessel has also lost main power. They have no dilithium. The Klingon vessel has redundant dilithium articulation frames, however, that could still function with only its primary frame. The Pendragon has surplus store of dilithium.
So we would have to. Our dilithium wasn't depleted, it was just that the frame was melted or was fused.
Your articulation frame has been fused. The Negbar has redundant articulation frames that could be used, but the Negbar currently seems to have no dilithium, whereas the Pendragon has surplus dilithium. And I'll let you discuss amongst yourselves ideas while we go to sickbay. Primary power is offline. The stasis rig that is maintaining the pod's life support is failing. The CMO, Lieutenant Kind, knows he needs to restore power to the rig somehow. You do have a nurse that is also in sickbay with you.
Well, I can't exactly stick jumper cables to her, so that probably wouldn't work very well.
It's interesting that's where you took it.
Especially since Shiv
could
sent me a picture of
theoretically-
what his nurse looks like.
You could theoretically stick jumper cables to him, but I don't know if that would do anything.
Um. Is it possible that I could decrease the intensity with which the force field is in order to slow down the rate of the power?
There is no force field.
Okay. Got you. Okay.
So say again what he gets there and what does he see?
Primary power is offline. The stasis rig that is maintaining the pod's life support is failing slowly. It
Mm-hmm.
needs to restore main power to the rig somehow. I suggest making extensive use of the technobabble button. Perhaps looking around your surroundings and seeing what's behind a bulkhead.
CS loves his technobabble button.
Oh, I know, I do. But I'm trying to make it good. That's the thing. Do the technobabble. I like to
So
make it
is
good.
there still live systems in sickbay right now because the sensor array is still online? Like there's still some power getting to that.
There is emergency backup power, but it's not enough to run the stasis rig.
Pro 2's got batteries. We'll just plug him in. He can power the ship.
I don't think he generated enough power to contain the life support.
Stick him on a treadmill, he might.
Oh,
Hey?
dude.
Stick him on a treadmill.
I was just gonna say, get him to run.
So the computer's offline, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What power do I have available around me?
Nurse Odar comes and talks to Lieutenant
She
Khan.
sounds like a knuckle buster.
Oh, Doctor, whatever are we going to do?
Super
You're the only one who
helpful.
can possibly help us. We need to
Well,
restore main
theoretically, we
power.
could nullify the linear baryon phase harmonic sensor, and therefore, if we redirect it into the focus nanoplanetary imaging inhibitor, we could therefore utilize. Sorry, we could boost the auxiliary
Working.
photon invariance inhibitor. No, but that would mean that we'd have to utilize the
Working.
nullifying of the primary spatial feed chamber.
That's an excellent idea, Doctor, but why don't we just remove the bulkhead and see if we can siphon off power from the backup systems?
Well, I guess we're going to try to do that, aren't we?
I don't think I'm suitable for it. Why don't you try, Lieutenant? You seem much
Well,
more
Damn
so-
well
it,
built
nurse,
than
I'm-
I.
Well, I'm really good
Damn
at
it.
percussive
You're not an
maintenance, so.
engineer.
Well, I am a doctor after all. Therefore, I am capable of doing everything. Doesn't matter if it's completely outside my expertise. I'm a doctor.
I'm a
Dan.
nurse, not an engineer.
Well, we'll talk about the other part later. Um, so what's required for me to take off the panel and reroute the power into the cables
You can
linking
take off the panel for security and daring, please. Complication range
I
is
was
1.
gonna
task
say
roll
we're at
2.
the point where give it a one good swift kick, we're falling apart anyway.
You keep talking when he's saying the last two damn things.
Supposed to figure it out.
Use your brain.
Complication
What's
range
the
1, task
complication?
roll 2.
Thank you. That's useless.
That's fine. You successfully pull off
Oh, I guess it works.
the bulkhead, finding an emergency power outlet behind it.
Do I just plug in? Pluggy?
Doctor, I think you might need to do some... I think you need to reset the non-linear ionic distortion catalyst in order to be able to plug that in.
I could, but then if we reconfigured the multi-phase igniting and frequency sustainer, then we therefore could have a more stable choice in terms of getting power.
But however are you going to nullify the backup plasma interface inhibitor?
Well, clearly I'm going to reroute the oscillating osmotic reaction harmonic.
What about communication? Wait. Have you tried to amplify the multivariant plasma particle equalizer?
Well, of course, because then if I did that, I would have to synchronize the balanced terion dampener generator.
Have you tried modulating the microscopic subspace gradient catalyst?
I
I
love how
have,
these
but therefore I had to
dudes
refocus the
talking
linear
about
photon
things they
imaging array.
don't know.
Well, if you do that, you'll need to recalibrate the isometric osmotic phased coupling.
Well, I'll recalibrate your coupling in a moment here, but let's just go with the original plan of...
Well, why don't we focus on the master resonating flux harmonic first?
Okay, if someone doesn't plug this in, I'm coming down there and I'm plugging it in for you.
Yes, we will focus... yes.
Lieutenant
We will
Kine,
do that,
Control,
nurse.
Engineering, complication range of 1, task roll 2.
I'm going to re-roll the complication.
Okay.
Because I have to.
I just pictured him trying to jam a wire in and then executing himself.
That's
kid putting a
just
metal
as bad,
fork into an
but at least
omelet.
it's not a critical.
Doctor, I don't think that's how you focus the master resonating flux harmonic.
Thank you for that insight into your observations. Why don't you give it a try, since clearly you're more well-versed in it?
I could try reversing the secondary plasma harmonic coupling if you like.
Well, first, why don't you modify the master neutrino interference catalyst?
I'm not taking advice from you. You didn't do it the first time.
Be my guess.
Thank you, Doctor. God, I hope this fucking works now, just to show you. Ah! Doctor, you were saying about modifying the master neutrino interface catalyst?
Well, there was once a wise old man that once told me something that whenever you make a mistake, you done fucked up.
He sounds like a very wise man, Doctor.
Fucked up, Ron.
Well, I don't know if I should try it again, because this could be worse than before.
Would you like success at cost?
Depends, what's the alternative?
Failing.
Trying again?
Well, I don't think I can try again.
Death.
Would you like to try again?
I would also like to play a game. Am I allowed to try again?
No?
Okay, well then success at cost.
Okay! The stasis unit comes back to life, plugged into the modified master neutrino interface catalyst in such a way that Nurse Odar is quite proud of herself for having done it. However, the moment the stasis rig takes over. The lights are fried, and total darkness encapsulates the medical bay. All tasks from now on will incur a +1 complication range, as someone holds a torch up to help you see.
Oh boy. Things just went from bad to worse.
Lieutenant
Why
Cullen,
you don't do the
Are
engineering stuff?
has the life science changed for the patient?
Lieutenant Kind, do insight and medicine for me, please.
One and two?
Complication range is 2, task roll is 2.
Yeah.
That's fine. Lieutenant Kind uses his tricorder and performs a scan on the stasis rig to ascertain the status of the stasis. His scans reveal to him that the patient is in fact not human, but chameleoid. The backup power system was fried. It is unknown how or why. Meanwhile,
Interesting.
on the bridge, Captain Talor, Pro 2, and Lieutenant Commander Zace have yet to decide a course of action and how to implement it. They've discovered that the Klingon vessel has a spare part they could use. They need to decide the best way to gain access to the Klingon ship and then discover if the Klingons are even willing to cooperate.
With the sensors being online, would there be any way to create like a emergency broadcast over to the Klingon ship?
That's not how sensors work.
No.
I'm not the Star Trek fan here. I don't know how
That's
anything
how
works.
Well, put it this way,
sensors
you
don't
ask,
work like that normally.
do the sensors work as a telephone? I don't know.
No.
Do you think a thermoprobe can be used as a telephone?
Hey, is this thing
Do we
cold? I don't know. Can we use it as a phone?
Hey, do we have 2 cups and a string?
Is
I wonder if
our
that would even work in space.
our I feel like it wouldn't. Well, one, you would have to be able to breathe in space.
And the moment you open the window, everything's going to be sucked out. No,
Fucking
sorry,
rolled
blown
out the
out.
window like an old car. Can you hear me?
Would I know how many crew members would be on, like, approximate on the enemy ship?
You would be able to hazard a guess in the region of hundreds.
Okay.
Are
It's-
our communications online?
Nope.
Can we reroute power from
Nope.
the sensors?
You would have to take the power from the life support systems, which I wouldn't recommend.
Debatable.
Fair.
Depends on how long you can hold your breath.
Never liked Dave on deck 22 anyway. Fuck that guy.
Are internal sensors working? Do we know where people are on the ship?
You wouldn't be able to get approximate locations. Just know that at the moment
But
you
would
have
we know
a
where-
full complement of crew.
Okay, would we know? Okay.
The power supplies that power the shuttles in the hangar bay, how powerful are they?
They couldn't power a sovereign class vessel if that's what you're asking.
No. I was thinking about I mean, I'm not quite sure if we'd have anything like this, but some kind of communication device that we could hook into a shuttle to. Oh, but they're out of power too. They wouldn't even be able to receive it. Never mind.
However, yes, that idea would work.
Yeah.
Who could
That's why I
power a
was
shuttle?
asking, and then I realized that telephones are two ways.
I'm waiting for the inevitable
You
question
figured out how telephones work.
I'm waiting for the inevitable question of, do we have any probes?
Captain, with the way that power is with our predicament, and I don't entirely feel like it's the smartest considering how many they are over there, but they're somewhat in the same predicament we are. But we could take a shuttle over to them and negotiate.
I feel like we could do a trade.
Mm-hmm.
They need power, we need part. We could trade them dilithium for converter.
Change the scene, I'm an idiot.
That's
Question
not every
is,
time.
will we get in and out alive, and will they leave us? Like, can we part ways after?
Damn, it could-
Considering they are as dead in the water as we are. Although they might know that we are in the same boat and use that over our heads. But
Do we know they have sensors, though?
But I think it would be fair to say that you all know that Klingon sensors are nowhere near as advanced as Federation sensors.
okay. Then, oddly enough, negotiations with Klingons might work.
I don't see another option.
There's usually
We have-
always a peaceful way.
Well, not in the last few times we've met the Klingons.
I say
We
usually,
haven't. Yeah.
not all
we
the
haven't.
time.
The last few times that we've met them, they've been on the upper hand, though, so.
Nobody really has the upper hand right now.
As
No.
far as they know,
Well, we each have
might have
something.
it.
They have something we need. We have something they need. Could we even get the shuttle bay doors open?
Shiv, would we be able to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
There's an emergency system that doesn't require power that you can use to kinetically open the shuttle bay doors just for emergencies like this. I didn't need the technobout
Lieutenant
button for that.
I'm sure that Lieutenant Kind currently has his hands full with his delicate mission considering the lack of power. So I think it might just be the three of us. Unless Folong is around.
It can be.
Oh, long?
Folon.
Folon, I don't know why I put a G on the end.
So long. Goodbye.
Thanks for all the fish.
I
So
don't
long and
necessarily think all three of us need to go.
Considering the number,
There's a lot of Klingons on that ship,
yeah.
most likely.
Gonna matter if there's 3 of us or 2.
This is also true.
Well, I'd rather have more people going if you're going, Captain. Because if they capture you, that's a bargaining chip.
Big one.
Captain saws him like, bitch, who said I was going?
Do you really want the android negotiating?
He is trying to learn human interactions.
I feel like he
Diplomatic
probably
debate.
won't learn human interactions from Klingon.
No, they'll just take him apart.
I do enjoy their singing, though. Our captain, seeing as this is our best suit of action, what do you say?
Well, we don't really have a choice. We have a contagious patient in an uncontained sick bay.
Should
have
make our way
something-
down?
Well, will they even talk to us if we get there? They don't necessarily have to
If we
open
send the
their
shuttle
doors
out,
for us.
can we hail them through the shuttle?
They have no power.
True. I mean,
I can-
if they
think it's
don't
about
open their doors
time.
to us,
Well, Pro 2 can
it's all
learn
the same.
what knocking on a door is.
With the shuttle, that sounds most unsafe.
Those are strong.
Shall we begin heading down to the shuttle bay then?
Question is, do we take the dilithium with us as a sign of good faith, or do we leave it behind?
Would we be bringing, to power their ship, would they need all of our extra dilithium? Would we not
No,
have-
they wouldn't. They would need some, but what's
Yeah.
the incentive to keep us alive if we bring what they want right to their door?
What if we
True.
offer a trade and then bring... This is a crazy idea. Bring one of them or two back with us.
With the part, and then hand off. Do a handoff.
Exactly.
Be smarter than taking our dilithium with us, because then they could just kill us right
Because
be on their way.
they are more I don't... like, I know we know the Klingons are more violent. Do they know that Starfleet are more peaceful and just don't care?
They don't care.
Right, I just wasn't
But
sure.
I do believe that they're also opportunistic too. They don't want to sit dead in space.
Right. Which is why I feel that leaving the dilithium here and bringing the trade over to our ship is more logical than the opposite.
I agree, because once we get the
yeah.
power up, we can always beam them back to their ship.
Mhm.
Once we're at a safe distance. So I think in that way, it also allows us some distance before they get repaired as well. Because if they come with us, we get repaired, we get power up, and we on our way. We can always beam them out with their dilithium just before we hit the end of the range. And that still leaves them dead in space, but also with the proper tools to fix, or proper materials to fix their ship.
That would probably be the best course of action.
I
So
can't
then the
tell.
Hmm?
I can't tell if our GM is asleep or texting.
Yes.
No, he's just
When I first looked, I was like, did he? Moved. I was like, oh no, we're good.
so the question is, 2 of us go, and then someone stays behind to prepare for the part to be
Delivered.
installed. In that case, it would be
I
Pro 2 and myself, and then it makes sense for Zace to stay behind to prep
Fix what
the
needs to be
the
fixing.
transfer.
as much as I agree that we should get it prepped, I still don't find it very smart to just go with only 2 people. I know 3 isn't much more, but
3 is more than 2.
It is.
Don't need
Mathematically,
technobabble for that either.
how fast can you replace the part?
How fast can I replace the part?
It's relatively quick plug and play kind of thing.
2 seconds? 3?
doo doo.
Gotta unplug and then plug it in and then
Wow. A second thought
Bob's
too,
gone.
have you come along with a tricorder also allows you to examine the part before they give it to us. We don't want anything that's a compromised.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys knew what it was that we were going for. What it looked like.
I'm
What
sure
it
we
could
could
do.
figure out, but whether or not we know it's useful or usable is another thing.
Yes.
Or if they sabotage it in any way.
In that case, I guess all 3 of us are going on a field trip.
Field trip to Klingon world.
Konos.
This was not on my itinerary.
You had an itinerary?
Making your way down
Why
to the
bag
shuttle
it?
bay?
Making her way.
Are you going as Captain Talor, or would you like to Agent Smith into Folon?
Oh, like he's helpful?
Wow.
Jesus!
Just like
Wow.
Zace, as soon as you meet
No,
Folon, you'll
I'm kidding.
understand.
He's so sweet. I love him, but I'm just thinking all I can think of him is just regaling them about his 16 wives.
no chill at all. Just
All
He's
right,
the same
I can go
species
as
as
full on.
Gloggs.
That's fine. I can go as full on.
Isn't
I mean, you don't-
16 ex-wives, though?
You don't have to go as Folon. You can go as Captain Talor if you so wish. It is up to you.
Well, because here's my other question. Would they really want to parlay with someone that may not be in an authority position to talk to them?
Yeah, it might be better to have the captain. It might be a not quite show of faith, but
Because it doesn't necessarily have to be me talking to them, but even if I could
Yeah.
talk to their captain to captain, then we might be able to come to an understanding. It's my thinking anyway.
yeah,
In
I
a
think it
social
would be better.
conflict, I don't think full-on would do very well.
How many wives do you have, Captain Kichukong?
I have 16. Admire my virility.
You can have one if you want.
Trying to sell the last.
Captain Talor, Ensign Pro 2 and Lieutenant Commander Zace make their way through the hull of the ship. Unfortunately, as they go, they find a lodged Klingon energy discharge shell lodged into the hull of the ship, ready to explode, but hasn't detonated yet. They realize that if they should leave it, they run the risk of destroying the entire ship, and should disarm it where it is.
It's fine.
It's not.
Says the android. It's fine.
It's
It hasn't
fine.
blown up yet. It won't.
We're not gonna be on the ship when it happens.
Insert Ralph chuckles. I'm in danger here.
Yeah.
Can we harness the energy? There we go. Energy problem solved.
I thought you just tape
Pretty sure that's
Two-
not how that works.
2 pieces of buttered bread on a cat, preferably toasted, not the cat though, and then it should just generate enough force because cat's feet always touch the ground, and so does the bread. So therefore, they never mind.
Been there,
I've just
tried
lost
that.
2
Doesn't work
momentum.
the way you think it does.
Lost 2 momentum for coming up with that.
I just like
Doesn't
how
work
had
the
to
way you think it
specify
does.
Not to toast the cat.
Not to toast the cat.
I can't add dice to my enemy pools, so I'm doing that instead.
I'm still in bed base, so that was just a
That's-
voice in the background.
Voice from
That's
beyond.
why I
had
lost
to
2
get-
momentum.
You had to get your nurse to plug in a USB cord.
And we'll take a quick break here before you have to realize you need to disarm somehow this energy discharge shell.
We're gonna come back to no viewers because they're gonna be like, "Oh no, they're dying." That's it. All over.
Death. My
Mute myself.
We gotta do that cocaine before we work with a bomb, man. That'll make us 12 times better.
I think it's the red wire. No, the green wire. No, the yellow wire.
Wait. The colors are moving.
I'm ready.
Okay. I suggest making extensive use of technobabble to RP your way through this.
Okay. I guess, is there any visual panels on the side of the device, shell, whatever you want to call it?
What are we looking at?
Yeah.
Or are we looking at?
We are, like you said, it's breached the. But what exactly are we looking at?
It would be slightly smaller than a photon torpedo casing, but in essence, it's just a casing that. Shit, I can't remember the principles behind disruptors.
They disrupt things.
It contains Big Bada Boom and electronics to help Big Bada Boom.
Like an EMP.
Kind of.
Smart thing first. Can I scan it with my tricorder
Mm-hmm.
to see what may or may not set it off?
I don't think you even need to roll for that. I think it would be safe to assume that your character would know it's delicate.
Yeah,
It's
that's
designed
why I
to
wanted to scan
explode
it.
on
Yeah.
impact, and you need to work with great caution.
Yeah, because I was gonna just take the panel off, and I'm like, that might just set it off. Let
I
me
wouldn't
scan it
recommend
first.
doing that.
Did it breach the hull far enough for us to access any of the panels?
Yes,
Okay.
emergency force
Is it
fields are in
something we
place.
can just pop off, or
Very delicately, yes.
who has the steadiest fingers?
Technically, I do.
I mean,
Oh, that's
technically
true.
him, yeah.
Rotu has the steadiest fingers.
Yeah, because especially if
See me
it's
after
something
the
to do
game.
with.
Would you want steady fingers for that?
Got a point.
I'm not an expert. Don't question me about anything.
You don't want me to
I'm an
explain it
innocent
to you
child.
either.
I'm an innocent child. Please don't.
Can I attempt to delicately take the panel off?
Absolutely. Control. Engineering.
Quick question.
Yes.
Could I assist him with that, like explain how it works if I knew how it worked?
Yes. And ideally, I'd have you RP it out, but as this is your first time, I'll let you just do that. So,
Thank you.
Pro 2, Control,
Oh fuck, I'm stepping
Engineering.
the fucking plate again.
Lieutenant Commander Zace, when you're back, you will be doing Presence and Engineering. Complication range is
Got it.
1. Task roll for you, Commander Zace, is 1. Task roll for you, Ensign Pro 2, is 2.
Would this be tinkering?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would
I
my
was like to ask.
focuses come
Yeah.
into play?
Yeah.
Actually, what's funny is that still doesn't
Very
even matter for
enthusiastic,
me.
yeah.
Knowing how focuses work, it changes nothing for me.
You successfully remove the panel and expose the inner workings inside.
Um,
Headphones. What do we see?
Yeah. Or do we see?
Do we see with our magical eyes?
In inner gubbins, circuitry, workings, detonator, that kind of
Blue
malarkey.
wire, red wire.
Yeah. Red lorry, yellow lorry, seashells upon the seashore.
This is where I will point out that Zace, you will want to do a lot of the heavy lifting here, and I will be doing the assisting.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that I would be the one that would be fucking with this thing. Somehow.
Feel free to use the Technobabble button. Do you have a Technobabble button? Technobabble
I
button?
don't know what that is, and I
If
don't
you-
believe I do.
Go to collections. You'll see a load of gobbledygook there. And you want Technobabble, a tick in the box that says in bar. That'll make it appear at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, right.
Auto-magically.
Where is collection?
Top right.
Top right next to the gear. The 4 lines, or 3 lines, 3 dots.
I see.
Apparently counting to 3 is very hard for Pro 2.
Hey, look at that. Okay. I've done it. I know how to work computers.
I suggest
Oh.
you start by modulating the balanced positronic feed harmonic.
Yeah, Sam, when you checked that thing, there's a little button to activate the Technobabble in the bottom left corner now.
If I click it, it does that, and then I just say the
There
thing.
you go. Mm-hmm.
Modulate the balance positronic feed harmonica. Then we could recalibrate the nonlinear gravimetric reciprocating discriminator. Can't.
Sounds legit.
Sounds legit. I know what I'm talking about.
Can I assist by scanning to make sure that they aren't how do I want to word this? If I don't want it to just be so they're coding the right wires. Kind of guiding them to the wires that would help them specifically do that.
Okay. Lieutenant Commander Zace. Control, Engineering,
Please
Complication
call
Range
me
1,
Case.
Task Roll 2, Ensign Pro 2, Insight, Engineering, Complication Range 1, Task Roll 1.
Focus is still used.
Yep. And I think a focus would apply for Ensign Pro 2 too.
Yeah, you said 2-2. Oh, sorry. Should I re-roll that?
That's fine, I'll let you have success.
Okay.
And you've done no work.
Oh boy.
We've done nothing.
Correct.
That did
Don't forget
nothing.
you can use momentum to buy extra dice,
Yeah, it's true.
as well as rerolls.
Okay, so recalibrating it didn't do anything. Well, what if reroute the primary quantum reaction catalyst? Will that do something? That might do something.
Well, if you're rerouting that, you could reroute that into the rerouted phase tachyon interference unit, and that might shut it off. Really hate the fact that you use reroute twice.
Okay.
But
Going with
if
that?
you do that,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Lieutenant Commander Zace. Insight, Engineering, Complication Range of 1, Task Roll 2, Ensign Pro 2. Insight, Engineering as well, Complication Range of 1, Task Roll 1. Lovely.
Nice.
Ooh.
Lieutenant Commander Zace. 6. Under challenge dice, put in 6 and roll, please.
Yeah, okay.
You need to roll the challenge dice button, not the task roll.
Oh, my bad. Wrong button.
That's fine, that's
I
fine.
know what I'm doing.
6. You have done 6 chunks of work.
6 what of work?
6 chunks, 6 intervals.
Chunks, okay. I heard
Yeah,
chunks.
extended tasks is we have to complete a certain amount of successes within a
The
certain amount of time.
rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, since you successfully rerouted it into the tachyon interference unit, you could then reconfigure the master quantum gradient coupling. But I'm not sure if that would cause any problems with the photon particle coupling. Where's your heart?
It might. Or... Alright. Or it might mess with the trifold positronic conversion unit. But nothing's done without a little risk. I mean, we're dead in the water anyway.
Well, how about I scan the nano-osmotic displacement damper while you work on it to make sure that everything stays in a level reading.
Field.
Mhm.
You know, monitor my work before I blow us up. Sounds like a good idea.
Prefer it that way.
Okay. Are you sure we don't want to blow it up? We could shove it out the door and blow them up.
With what, though? We are without power currently.
Forgot about that little portion of problems that we had at the moment.
Diffusing a bomb does make you get tunnel vision sometimes. I understand.
That just happens with everything. One problem at a time. Let's defuse this.
Lieutenant Commander Zace. Insight, Engineering, Complication Range of 1, Task Roll of 2. Ensign Pro 2. Control, Engineering, Complication Range of 1, Task Roll of 1.
We can re-roll.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, technically my assist doesn't even count. How many momentum do we have?
Yeah.
2.
2. So we could currently spend both of those and just have you re-roll. Just flat out re-roll.
I mean, it should be 3
Or you
momentum,
could
but I'm feeling generous, so I'd let you re-roll both for 2.
Because we do have a limited amount of tries before we fail. And Shiver hasn't told us, which is worrisome.
Okay, like I said, first and last game. How about I just re-roll the one complication? Right?
You
Yeah,
wish?
let's re-roll. Let's re-roll both.
Okay.
Right?
There you go.
Hey.
Lovely. And get a momentum back. You can, if you
Hey.
don't want the momentum, you can use it to get one more work done,
Oh, that's something
or
new
you
I didn't
can
know.
hoard it.
So if we don't take the momentum, how many we would have no momentum,
Correct.
but
we
more
do
work
one
would be
extra
done.
work. Yeah. I'd say keep it in case we get
In
another
case of another
complication.
critical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And keep the momentum.
Roll 6 challenge dice for me, please, Lieutenant Commander Zace. Excellent.
Good or bad? Excellent.
A good excellent. You do not have much work
Those-
left at all.
Yeah, those Star Trek symbols are good.
Okay. I was wondering about that. So we did it.
Not quite.
Not quite.
It seems that there's one last thing that we could try in the nucleonic dampening generator. Actuating that might shut the rest of the thing down.
Working.
It could. That would do that. Would oscillate the photon invariance, which would render it null, I guess.
Oh, you know what? That's true. Because if you did that, it would modulate the emergency baryon frequency catalyst.
Mm-hmm. It would.
I think that's our best course of action.
That's the best course of action.
I think you nailed the delivery on that one.
And Commander Zace. Control, Engineering, Complication Range 1, Task Roll 2. Ensign Pro 2. Insight, Science, Complication Range of 1, Task Roll 1.
Hey.
Hey!
And if you could roll 6 challenge dice for me, please, Lieutenant Commander Zace.
Made up for that.
DNG discharge shell begins to power down safely.
Hmm.
You may proceed on your way down to the shuttle bay.
Alright, cool. What were we doing now? Were we going somewhere?
As soon as we realize it's powered down, I go, piece of cake, and I just dung dung on the side of the.
Kaboom.
I would recommend not tapping the bomb,
Oh, sorry.
even though it's powered down.
I've learned
Still.
some assets of excitement from Lieutenant Kind.
How about a high five instead?
Sure. And I awkwardly give you a high five.
Yes! I don't give a shit about the awkwardness. High five!
Now, Captain, should we continue on to the shuttle bay?
Yes, that is what we were doing.
As long as there's no more bombs.
Couldn't guarantee you that. But I've defused one, I can defuse more. Theoretically.
The trio make their way down towards Shuttle Bay, with Lieutenant Commander Zace making various assertions that they could in fact disarm many bombs, several bombs, or just one more bomb.
Any bomb. Just put a bomb in front of me, I'll disarm it.
Meanwhile, in sickbay, the power is partially restored to the pod containing the dying alien. Unfortunately, though, the pod has been damaged and isn't providing a stable status field, and the patient is slowly dying, leaving the doctor with the only option of attempting to find a cure. Like any good doctor, Lieutenant Kine knows he must start by diagnosing what is wrong with his patient exactly.
I'm an engineer, not a doctor.
Oh boy.
Percussive maintenance on the patient.
It's worked a couple
Zombies dying,
times,
it might
not
as
on
well.
people, but it has worked.
Yeah.
As Pro 2 has utilized my same techniques in the past and has been successful with them.
Dr. Kind, whatever will we do? Help us, Dr. Kind, you're our only help.
Hope.
That's what I meant.
So just to recap, we're running on backup power still, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And there's no way I can access. No, that wouldn't work.
What is it, Lieutenant Doctor? Doctor,
There
what are you
wouldn't.
thinking?
Well, I'm wanting to cross-reference his symptoms with the list of symptoms on the computer, but obviously I don't have access to the computer. I'm trying to think if my tricorder actually has enough data stored inside of it to actually utilize that.
Have you tried scanning the patient, Doctor?
Well, didn't we do that when we scanned the vitals?
No, Doctor, we only examined the device.
Well, we saw like how he was doing.
The device had
Did we
managed to
not?
reset itself, and it seems that someone had spoofed the details that were coming up.
Oh. Well, let's use tricorder scan to triangulate the exact.
That's a good idea, Doctor. I wish I thought of that.
Well, I will scan with my tricorder to get a better reading on the patient.
Insight medicine, please.
Complication?
1. Oh, no, 2.
I was just going to say, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was 2. So I'm like, ah.
It's wonderful.
There we go.
The scan shows that the patient has metamorphic DNA.
Metamorphic DNA. Interesting.
What
So
does
we're
it
dealing
mean,
with a
Doctor?
creature. So we're dealing with a creature that is not always what it seems.
There's more to him than meets the
Fa-
eye?
Yes. Yes, there
Could he
is.
be a robot in disguise?
No, because he wouldn't have given us a biometric reading then if that was the case.
That's true, Doctor. I'm so glad you're here.
He's a
What are the-
terrible nurse.
What are the list of symptoms that we
I
currently
wasn't
know
hired
of?
for my talents.
Totally noted.
Seems
Let's run another scan just to get an exact detail on the types of symptoms he's currently exhibiting right now.
But Doctor, doesn't that go against one of the rules of medicine? The
Which
easiest
is?
way to find the symptoms of a patient is to simply ask them.
is that a
Are they
rule?
not unconscious? Well, then let's use a hypo spray and bring them back and see if we can get anything out of them.
Do we know if the hypo spray will work on a metamorphic DNA life form?
No, but what choice do we have? Because otherwise we figure this out now or he kills us all.
Well, I'm no doctor, but if it were me, I'd try and scan the actual virus itself.
I didn't think we had the technology in a tricorder to be able to do that.
Well, why wouldn't we? We're able to look at the metamorphic DNA.
Well, then I guess we could take a crack at it.
It's a fantastic idea, Doctor. Insight medicine,
Proceed.
please. The virus, it seems, is only effective on metamorphic DNA. And you watch as the virus hunts down and attaches itself directly to metamorphic DNA strands, destroying it from the inside out.
Okay, so we know it can't kill us, which is a good sign. The downside is that the faster this thing mutates, the quicker the creature dies, or the person dies. Are we able to utilize the metamorphic DNA in a way that circumvents the virus's ability to attach to it?
I don't think that's
In the sense that
possible,
we
Doctor.
change the strand so that it represents something other than what the morphic DNA represents.
We simply couldn't
utilizing
rip
its
the
own
creature's DNA
camouflage.
out and completely change it.
No, but we could inject a no. If we could temporarily distract the virus from actually doing what it's trying to do and utilizing its metamorphic DNA against itself in the sense that it cloaks its own DNA against the virus.
How on earth are you going to cloak DNA, Doctor?
Well, if we can isolate the specific strand that the virus utilizes to attach, we could inject a serum that covers it, and in that sense, the virus no longer is able to attach to it.
Sounds like you're trying to play God, Doctor.
I'm pulling it out of my butt as hard as I can. It's just...
Have you considered looking at the medical database on the tricorder, Doctor?
I have, but from what I was aware, that it was a very simple device, but I guess we could take a look.
Let's do that then, Doctor. I'm so glad you're
Yes.
here to guide us through this process.
Yeah.
We'd be lost without you and your talents.
Undermining fucking.
Most passive aggressive nurse I've ever seen.
Seriously.
don't know what that roll was for, because we switched back over to the trio in the shuttle.
Oh.
You don't get to do what you're trying to do.
I sure hope Lieutenant Kind is doing okay.
He's got like a nurse there to help him, doesn't he?
Yeah, and surely he knows what he's doing.
You guys know him more than I do, so I just got here.
The shuttle
So the shuttle has. Sorry.
flies
please
alongside
continue.
the Negbar ship. I can already see some structural damage from the outside. Pro 2 is inspecting the superstructure, deciding the best point of entry for the shuttle to dock with. Pro 2, Insight, Con. Complication range of 1, task roll 2.
Insight Con. And this is. Yeah, this would use a focus. Oh, I changed one to. I changed the complication range. That's what I did.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, wait, no, that's not fine. Sorry. So, Pro 2 successfully finds a place to dock with the shuttle where they can disembark and enter straight into the Klingon ship. Is there anything you wish to discuss before you embark?
Does the shuttle have sensors? To like determine if there's like they don't have any power, but do they have like life support and there are people aboard where
Insight.
we are going in at?
Insight and science for me, please.
Insight, science,
Complication range of 1, task roll 2.
no focus, complication.
Nope.
Roll 2.
Scan the ship and are able to ascertain that they're in just as bad a shape as the Pendragon. You read scattered signs of life aboard the ship. Unfortunately, you are unable to pinpoint exactly where they are.
Can we tell how many?
A full crew complement.
Okay.
So hundreds.
Mhm.
The place I found is like an actual docking spot.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's near engineering. You'll be able to walk straight into engineering from where you dock.
Okay. Captain, we should be able to get straight to the point, honestly, with where I'm about to park.
Park.
Hopefully that is. Land, park.
Dock. Insert
It's
ourselves
like riding
into
a
their
hover
ship.
bike.
Have you ever
Well,
ridden a hover
try
bike?
to hover close enough to get us inside.
I will, trust me.
Shuttle docks up with the Klingon ship. Are you disembarking?
Does it seem
There's
like
like
there's
a-
anybody? Sorry.
There's like a so the way the docks work, so there's like our door and then like has the shaft or
Well,
is
is
it two
there-
doors
is
just
there
right
a
next to each
door?
other?
It's
Because
like
ours would have to open, and theirs would have to open.
you plug into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yours
So
is
like there's
open,
our
but the
door, like a
Klingon's is-
shaft, and then another door.
I mean, it's all just a cloak.
Okay, so it's just two doors.
Yeah.
So
I
can we
never
just
thought
knock on the door?
I never thought I'd hear the day when you were talking about a shaft, to be honest.
I didn't know how else to fucking. Like it's a fucking it's a thing that extends and then there's another door and then.
I never thought I'd hear the day you were
I'm gonna-
talking about an extending shaft either.
I hear
Everyone take
there.
a drink.
Nope, not gonna continue that sentence.
So
abandon that thought.
essentially, what what I'm getting is that the door isn't open, and we have to somehow signal them to open the door,
You
or
open
we
it
need to figure out a
yourselves.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doot, 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 doot.
Lieutenant Commander
Starfleet calling.
Zace, do you have any?
Would you like to hear about our Lord and Savior?
Jonathan Archer.
Lieutenant Commander Zace, do you know of any way of remotely accessing a Klingon docking bay door?
I mean, I'm sure there's a way, but I feel like that would get us off on the wrong foot, just barging into their ship.
That's true.
Have we
could
tried
just-
knocking?
I was gonna say we could just knock. I'm just gonna go up to the door and just go doot 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 doot.
I'd prefer they knew we were coming rather than get shot.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I've got the picture right in my head still, are we in a thing where we can get out and go knock, or are we floating
It's like
in
a soft seal.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm less
Like a
It's
confused.
like it's
collar.
like a suction cup kind of thing that you into
Okay,
the.
because
So
you
our
guys
door
kept...
opens and their door is like right there.
Okay,
Mhm.
because you guys keep talking about knocking, and I'm picturing about like taking the little shell and going dink dink.
No.
No,
So
no.
our door
So-
opens
so, like-
and we're literally looking at the outside of their
Their
Gotcha.
ship.
door.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was asking about like shafts, because sometimes you have like a door and then like a thing extends to
No.
lock
Okay.
up against the other door
Not
that you can
that
walk
A
through.
docking
sophisticated.
There we go.
Yes, by all means, we should try knocking. It would be rude to do otherwise, after all.
We are trying to teach you manners.
I think it's safe to
Human
say that you would
manners.
all know that the armor on a Negvar ship is so thick that even an elephant pounding it with its head over and over isn't going to make any noise through the structure. So knocking, although polite, is just isn't going to do anything.
What
Open
about
the door.
shooting the door as a way to knock?
That's great. So
What, the door?
it'll come ricocheting back.
Yes.
Well, I
Never
did
mind.
not want to be rude, but I guess we will have to let ourselves in.
Yeah, I mean I can bypass the whatever, the security. Or I forgot the word. Access the control panel, bypass the English.
Or Klingonese.
Or Klingonese. I can open the door.
Control. Or daring, whichever you prefer. And engineering. Complication range of 3. Task roll 2.
Shit, fuck. Might not be able to open the door.
Complication range just increases the chance of rolling a complication. It doesn't affect difficulty.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
but you done did it.
Done did good.
I can open any door that you put in front of me. Give me a
Now that you
door,
say-
open it.
Now that you say that.
The door opens to the Klingon ship. And immediately the away team are greeted by very angry Klingons. Oh, the light. I never took the light off there.
Lights are off. We're all blind.
Oh yeah, you're
Klingons sing in
using
the dark?
fog of war.
No.
Okay, I see us. There we are.
You want to be there.
As in, that's where the part is?
Mm-hmm.
Just scroll down, that makes more sense.
Okay, I'm just trying to get used to the layout here. Oh, okay, I see doors and stuff now. Okay.
Okay. Oh, left, down,
Yep.
right,
Yeah,
down.
you can go this way, or you can go straight this way.
Mm-hmm. It would probably be. It's the same amount of rooms, but we'll run into less people if we go to this one first. Because if we
Same
go
amount of
here,
people.
then here.
Oh
Why
yeah,
would we need to go
yeah.
here? Why would we need to go there and then we could just go down?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't forget, we can also try negotiating.
I thought that's what we were planning on coming in here to do.
Yeah.
So I don't think we even brought weapons, did we?
Well, we always have phasers on us.
You always have Type
assume.
2s on you. I think it would be safe to say that if you wanted to, I would let you take phaser rifles at the cost of all your momentum. And
I feel like we wouldn't necessarily need that, especially if we were considering going in diplomatically anyway.
Yeah.
Can we see any of the Klingons and can they see us? Or doors
no
closed?
and no.
Okay.
Okay, so if I say, now I knocked on like a door or something and make like a
I was
noise
just
and then
about
like,
to- yeah.
hello,
I think they'll
anybody
hear you now.
home?
I was just about to I was about to go, I'm gonna do something stupid.
Anybody home?
Do we I forgot how ground combat turn order works. How do we establish that?
Don't think we established a ground combat. It's only for space battles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally, players go
trying to-
first. But it's the same
Okay.
as space combat: player, enemy, player, enemy, player, enemy.
If movement and like an interaction is all I'm doing, how far can I move?
In combat or out of combat?
Out of combat.
Basically, as far as you want until you come across something that's going to stop you.
Can I go up to this door
Yes.
and knock on it?
Yes.
Is that okay with the captain? I'm gonna go up to that door and I'm gonna knock on it.
This little Klingon warrior is going to go there and answer the door and look at you shocked.
I'll
Is
throw
it
my
vile
hands up.
Patak? How dare you invade our ship?
I try and put my hands up non-threateningly.
Oh, you're handing yourself in as a prisoner after sabotaging our vessel. You'll make an excellent prize for the Empire.
No, we came here to negotiate, right? And I look at the captain. I don't want to drop her rank out loud unless she does it herself.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not me. There we go. I'll look at the warrior and just say, I would like to speak to your captain, please.
Maybe the captain doesn't want to speak to you. Maybe we should just take you prisoner.
And maybe your captain does want to speak to me. If you want to get your ship underway again, you'll want me to speak to your captain.
Reason. Command.
Oh,
Complication range is 2. Task roll is 2.
man. Sorry, what was it? Complication is 2?
Complication 2. Task roll 2.
Okay.
Why do you need to speak to the captain after sabotaging our vessel? Klingons do not
We
surrender.
did not sabotage your vessel. We are here to make a trade that will benefit both of us.
Reason. Command. 2-2.
I like it when the captain gets to speak to people.
You may speak, human. The captain
Are
will
you
not
the
see you.
captain?
I am the chief engineer.
We understand from our sensor readings that you have some parts on board that we might need to be replaced on ours, but you lack dilithium. Power it. We have dilithium. Are you interested in a trade?
Do you have the dilithium with you?
Do you think I would bring it with me?
It's a sign of good faith. Yes.
A good faith, but what keeps you from taking it from us when we come on board? You could just kill us.
We could also do that now and take your shuttle and board your ship and take what we need that way.
Who's to say that we didn't rig our shuttle when we came on board?
Presence! Command. 2-2. The war has changed, Starfleet. Perhaps you may have rigged your vessel for sabotage. What do you wish to trade?
We will give you dilithium in trade for a converter.
It's an articulation frame.
Sorry, articulation frame.
That's it. Frame. It's a frame.
This is why I'm not an engineer. I brought one
What-
with me, though.
What guarantees do we have that you will leave us safe?
We can take a representative from your ship with one or two of your choice to retrieve the dilithium. Once we have power back up on our vessel, we can transport your representatives and the dilithium back to your ship.
You expect us to yield to you first, give you our articulation frame, let your ship power up, with some of our people prisoner on board your ship, and to trust you?
Not prisoner.
It is
Welcome
against
guests.
Starfleet regulation to take prisoners.
It is
Would
Starfleet
it be
regulation
better-
to take prisoners.
Is it? Oh, then I didn't say anything.
I was gonna say it is. Would it be better to? Nope.
Do you have an alternative suggestion?
Yes.
You bring us the dilithium, we give you the articulation frame.
Then what stops you from powering up first and blowing us out of the sky?
It takes far longer to
Okay.
tune dilithium to the right frequencies in a warp drive than it would do for you to simply ad hoc an articulation frame in place.
And I look at Lieutenant Commander Zace for confirmation.
Not wrong. Takes a hot minute to tune to lithium. Especially if you don't want to, blow up your warp core, probably.
Let's say I agree to this. Can I... Word escapes. If we come to an agreement, can I trust that your honor as a Klingon warrior will make sure that you carry your end of the deal?
The Klingon warrior unsheathes his Doctog and uses it to open a wound on the palm of his hand. Give me your hand. He takes the Doctog and he slices open apart from your hand and firmly grasps your own. We have an agreement on the honor of my blood and the honor of your own.
Agreed. We will return to our ship, get the dilithium, and we will return and exchange the parts and the materials.
The working part.
Yes, we will, of course, require an inspection of the part, whether we do it before we leave and then upon trade.
Your engineer is free to inspect the part now if they so wish.
I would also like to inspect it upon trade.
You question my honor, Birdling.
I don't question your honor. I question parts are easy to break, even when not being touched.
Just as we would assure that you would inspect the dilithium upon delivery as well.
Yes.
Reason and command. Captain Talor. 2-2.
Can I assist with that? I have a thing, don't I?
I think you... Yeah. Do your reason and engineering. Complication range of 2, task roll of 1.
Complication 2, task roll 1.
Yay. Oh.
Very well. We have your captain's honor on this. You may leave in peace this time. Meanwhile,
Shall we?
in sickbay,
Oh,
Lieutenant
boy.
Kine has begun looking at methodology treatments. Thanks to the backup generator, he was able to get back online earlier. The Federation database is available to him on his tricorder. He is starting to research and test different methods to combat the illness. His research so far has yielded leads in the following fields: radiation, gravimetric fields, Borg nanoprobes, toxicology, and electrical therapy. So this is a research task. And I've never done this before. Now, normally you would have to come up with the research fields yourself, but I've done the first step for you, which is telling you the research fields to pursue. So what you have to do is tell me which field you want to research, and we'll go down that route.
Let's start with radiation.
Okay. How are you going to start the research of radiation?
Well, with the research of radiation, if we could take a trying to think about get my methodology correct here based off the timeline. If we're able to see how the DNA reacts with being bombarded by radiation and just seeing how it reacts to it in general.
That is free, because you've got no momentum to gain. The virus seems to be showing weaknesses to a broad sweep radiation bombardment.
Okay. Now it shows a weakness, but it doesn't necessarily it doesn't kill it, it just weakens it, so we need to do a two-prong approach, I'm assuming. What were the other fields?
Well, you haven't exhausted this field yet.
Oh, okay, I gotcha, okay.
It's just shown that it does have a vulnerability to radiation. But you aren't sure which radiation band it's particularly effective.
Okay. Well, why don't we utilize a...
Should have done that as Nurse Good and Sexy, sorry.
Well, why don't we use a frequency analyzer and use a scaling level of radiation to see which frequency it is the most weakest to?
Would you prefer control or insight?
Insight.
Insight, medicine, complication range 2, task roll 2, please. The virus is showing weakness to certain bands of radiation formed as a byproduct of an antimatter reaction.
Hmm.
Again, I should have done that as That's Good and Sexy. The virus is showing weakness to certain bands of radiation formed as a byproduct of an antimatter reaction, Doctor. What's the next step?
Is that really her name, Nurse Good and Sexy?
Only in my
So
mind.
at what point do I know that I've exhausted this field?
It will be obvious to you.
Oh, okay. Um. So the byproduct you said was antimatter,
Don't
correct?
forget, you are able to purchase information with momentum.
But that's not as fun though.
True. My question, basically the question that you have posed to you at the moment is, what radiation is given off by an antimatter reaction?
What is it called? Okay, I'll spend 1 momentum.
Theta
No?
radiation. How would you... Doctor, however are we going to use theta radiation to combat this virus?
Well, if we were to use the radiation in the similar sense that was a old style of therapy called chemotherapy, we could bombard his body in hopes of eradicating the virus through means of attrition.
We could try it on this sample we have of his DNA.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's try that first and see what our success rate is from that.
Insight, medicine. Complication range 2, task roll 2. The virus is potentially destroyed by theta radiation. Unfortunately, during your research, you discovered that this radiation is banned for general use by the Federation and is too toxic to be used for treatment safely.
Oh, fuck. I knew it.
Doctor, if you use that, you're going to kill everyone, including yourself. And me. And I'm only 3 days away from retirement.
I thought you were going to say 3 days old.
Some days I wish that too. Some days I wish that too. Okay. Well, clearly we can't use that unless it's a last resort. Let's move on to the next field of study.
What's that, Doctor? Gravimetric fields? Borg nanoprobes? Toxicology? Or electrical therapy?
Let's go toxicology.
Electrical therapy.
Okay.
That just sounds too exciting.
Toxicology.
Shit going on.
So, using a blood sample, let's run a test on the different levels of well, let's just do a organic matter scan on the different levels of. What's the word I'm looking for? let's see what his blood is compromised of in the first place.
Insight medicine, please. Complication range of 2, task roll 2.
Ooh.
Doctor, it seems that the DNA is vulnerable to Viridium-6. It's a poison particularly effective on Klingons.
Nifty.
Poison? Effect.
It's also the name
Wait,
of a
that's what his
popular
blood
Earth
is made
song.
of?
Poison.
I thought you were gonna go toxic.
I said popular.
And you said this was not human, correct?
It's
Fucking
metamorphic
rude.
DNA.
Yes.
Hey, look, I'm all for Free Britney,
Toxic
but
by
her
Britney
music was shit.
Spears. Listen. It was not that shit.
Can we cross match his DNA with that of a Klingon DNA and see the similarities?
We could, Doctor, but why don't we just test out the effect of Viridium-6 on the virus cells directly?
Well, since you seem so eager, then why not?
Please, Doctor, after you. I'm barely qualified. You see this, Doctor? Look, the Viridium-6 is attacking the virus cells directly, leaving the metamorphic DNA intact.
Interesting. And based off of the sample that we have just tested on, are there any side effects?
There doesn't appear to be any kind of side effects, but we might have to do further testing in order to form some sort of inoculation or treatment based upon the Viridium-6.
Well, we could do a control, and then we could do several other vials of his blood and test it over the course of about 10, 20, and 30 minutes and see what the differences are in terms of the toxic levels in the blood.
Yes, Doctor. Insight medicine, please. Viridium-6 is banned within the Federation. However, the Doctor knows that he is able to override safeties built into replicators and is able to replicate an effective treatment based upon Viridium-6. I think you've done
Okay,
it,
well,
Doctor.
We may have done it, but we are also breaking regulation.
But the Hippocratic Oath comes first, doesn't it, Doctor? You're here to save
Perhaps.
lives.
We are. But at what cost?
Damn it, the man's life is at stake here.
Why don't we explore the gravity matter?
Yes, Doctor. Okay, so you're at capped momentum again. Alright, no, you're not. Insight and medicine, please.
Oh, bugger.
It's fine. It's a difficulty 0 task.
Oh, I thought it was difficulty 2.
The virus seems like it could be vulnerable to applied gravity forces.
I'm guessing because of the nature of the DNA, it is vulnerable to typically everything because of the way it works.
It's an interesting theory, Doctor.
In that sense, that if we want to apply gravity to it, then
You saying
it's a
we get
tool
the
that we can
fattest
utilize.
person on the ship and get it to sit on him?
Oh, I'm gonna hold on that one. Let's use a. Do we have something like a miniature centrifuge?
Yes, Doctor. How small do you like your centrifuge?
Enough to generate enough of a gravity force of, let's say, 3 Gs.
I think that one's going to be control and medicine. Complication range of 2. Task roll 2. The virus shows it is stymied and able to survive with applied forces of gravity in excess of Minshera class standard.
Hmm. So it's vulnerable, but yet when we apply it, it seems to be even more sturdy.
Stymied.
Stymied.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Sorry,
that makes
I'm not
work.
American.
I'm like, oh, okay, I guess so. Got it. All right. I guess it's just not going to work. Okay.
Oh, my window's open.
Now,
Do you
based
say
off of
stigma or stigma?
stigma.
Stigma. Stigma is with an
American, I
I
don't
though,
get it.
and stymied is with a Y.
Yes, that is. Um,
English, American English is dumb.
British English is just a fucking nightmare.
I mean,
the thing is that we could utilize this method, but what does the database have to say about it? Because every time I seem to research it, it seems to have an alternative that goes, nope.
Why don't we do more tests on it and see how much gravity it takes in order to destroy the virus?
Wow.
I'm no doctor.
Problem is that if we are successful in having something that can disable the virus, his body would also have to be capable of handling the G-force.
But we haven't been able to find out how much G-force needs to be applied in order to destroy the virus.
Well, then let's do a sliding scale just like we did with the radiation. We'll start at 1 and we'll go all the way to 12.
Why don't we increase the control range up to 100, Doctor? Oh, wait.
Because I don't think subjecting
12,
a
12's
shit.
fine. 12's
He says a
fine.
shit ton of G-forces.
I was just gonna say,
I can't read my own
Like a
fucking...
fucked up.
I can't read my own fucking notes. It's fine.
Like, that's
I'm a
like
nurse, not a
fuck ton of
dictionary.
G-force.
I think I've realized that. Oh boy.
Do control, medicine, complication range of 2, task roll 2, please. The virus is destroyed by a gravitational field strength of 100 newtons per kilogram, 10 times the amount of gravity on Earth. Sadly, this will also kill the patient.
Thought so. That's what it always boils down to.
Save him,
So,
but you could-
so I guess last but not least, we have electrical shock.
There's 2 still.
Oh. What was the other one?
Borg nanoprobes, Doctor.
Oh, I really don't want to go. But I feel like that might be the only way.
Stop trying to resist, Doctor. It's futile.
That's a red flag.
Just a wee little bit.
Try the Borg nanoprobes. Or your resistance is futile. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Well, we'll do the electrical shock
Soon
first.
you will be part of the sexy and good collective.
Well, your good collective can go sit in the office if you keep that up.
You put you in timeout? Is she 5?
I'm the only one that's helped you actually do any work around here, Doctor.
Exactly.
I'm a strong, independent doctor that needs no nurse.
You
If
obviously
only that was
do.
true.
So let's utilize the samples again, new samples, and we will do a sliding scale of voltage applied to each of the samples up to a scale of, let's say, 25,000 volts.
Is that a lot?
Hmm?
Yeah, okay. Do for me insight medicine 2-2, please.
Did you say that's not a lot?
I said, is that a lot?
I mean,
I'm a nurse, not an electrician.
It's about an electric fence.
yeah. Which isn't pleasant, but it's not going to kill you.
An extreme electrical discharge is effective in destroying the virus, tests have shown, but it needs to be far in excess, greater than that you have applied.
Figures. So it is going to
Look,
go.
Doctor,
I guess we're going to.
Progress. Shocking.
Did you write that one down?
No.
Well, then I guess last but not least, we must exhaust the Borg nano.
But we haven't finished the electrical tests, Doctor. Things are just
I
starting
thought
to
we
amp up here.
I thought we just established that if we were to increase the voltage, it would be beyond the range with which the body would be capable of withstanding.
Yes.
So therefore, we could rule it out, could we not?
I'm so glad you're here to keep me grounded, Doctor.
So then we shall move on to the last item.
Very well. You're the Doctor. I didn't realize
So
you had
let's
such a
see.
short fuse.
Let's see how the Borg nanobots work on the blood sample.
Borg nanoprobes could potentially be
Sorry,
reprogrammed
probes.
to eliminate the virus and go dormant after.
Okay. What is the likelihood that these probes could be reactivated?
It's unknown, Doctor. This is unknown ground. No one's ever used Borg nanoprobes in this manner.
So we either go the unethical route of violating law, or we go with the alternative, which would possibly make this person into a Borg in the future. Okay.
Cure is worse than a disease.
Is there a way of utilizing the bots and then creating just a simple blood infusion to cleanse the body of the bots afterwards, the probes?
Unfortunately not, Doctor. If we were able to do that, we'd be able to reverse the assimilation process.
Well, am I able to contact the captain at this point?
Nope.
Damn.
Am I not good enough for you, Doctor?
No, that's not what I was getting at. Feel like it's better to violate than to indoctrinate someone with.
If it makes you feel better, Doctor, Iridium-6 is only effective on Klingons.
Well, I'd rather subject someone to something that we know will work, but is banned, but then subject something to someone that could alter their life alter their being for the rest of their life, and could negatively come back to effect, regardless of how the patient may be a friend or foe. So we will go with a Iridium-6.
Yes, Doctor. The trio have returned to the Klingon ship.
Ah,
Dilithium in tow.
It's structured almost like a Star Trek episode where it's like, yes, it's getting to the good part. Go back to the other subplot.
I'm surprised you were able to come back, humans. We have the articulation frame here for you if you wish to inspect it. Did you bring the dilithium?
Lieutenant Commander Zeiss.
I will inspect it. Make sure everything is in working order.
You're at cap momentum. It's a difficulty 0 task. It seems in order. It seems fine.
Looks good to me. Seems operable and won't fail
You could swear.
within.
I don't care.
No, I just fucked up the word.
Oh. I thought you were going to
just
say it doesn't
fucked
seem
up
like
the
it's going to
saying of the
fuck
word.
things up, but yeah, okay.
No, I just fucked up in saying the word fail.
Okay.
I almost said foil, which isn't the right word. Anyway, looks good to me.
Pro 2, will you please give the Klingons the dilithium, please?
I just kind of hold it at arm's length and cautiously approach, as not to be aggressive in any way.
Your android seems afraid.
He just has
No,
a healthy respect for you.
As well he should. We
I'm
take
also
it.
trying to learn boundaries.
Boundaries
We
are a
have-
good thing to have.
We have your word that this dilithium is suitable.
It is. It was checked out by my chief engineer before we brought it over. You're welcome to scan it and check the efficacy of the material before we leave.
Unlike you humans, we take you at your word. You have given us a promise in blood. We shall go and fix this into our systems now. I suggest you depart before things get worse for us all. I hope we can meet again on the field of battle.
Maybe one day. Shall we?
Is there anything you wish to discuss on your shuttle pod journey back?
How fast can we get this installed?
You know, pretty quickly. Just gotta get to engineering.
Time is a little bit of the essence.
Yes, Captain, if you
It's
wouldn't mind, I know he said that it was going to take a little bit of time to dial in the dilithium to their systems. But as soon as the ship's power starts coming back and we get all of our systems online before we leave, I would like to try and scan for what might have disabled both of our ships.
does seem a bit odd that we both went down at the same time. In the middle of nowhere.
Data girls like that.
Understandable. As long as you can do it on our way out as we're leaving, you can scan away.
Of course.
Went down on each other at the same time.
I didn't need the explanation, thank you though.
It's funny
It's
because
funny
I
'cause
explained it. How do you think Nurse Good and Sexy got her job?
I mean, it wasn't with her skills, I can tell you that.
That's her pushy attitude.
Did
Or
a
it
better
might have
job
been with
than
her
the
skills,
doctor.
just not the right one.
Meanwhile, in sickbay, patient
Back to the pushy doctor.
is stable and drifting in and out of consciousness. It turns out that the patient is a scientist that is infected with a virus that only affects changelings.
Interesting. Let's see. I walk over.
I believe the patient is coming around now, Lieutenant Kind, if you wish to talk to him.
Yes, thank you, nurse. That's exactly what I was about to do. Thank you.
Just making sure. I know you're not very good at your job.
I address the patient. Are you awake? Can you hear me?
Very groggily sort of looks at you. And I'm not going to do a groggy voice, but yes.
I am
Do you-
grog.
Do you know where you are?
No. Bright lights. Is this the afterlife?
No, you are aboard the
Is your nurse an
U.S.S.
angel?
Depends on how much you've had to drink. You are aboard the U.S.S. Pendragon. We are part of the Federation Starfleet. We are taking you to a starbase to facilitate with your recovery, but you were brought to us in haste in order to save your life. Wondering if you had any recollection of the events leading up before you went unconscious.
I was working on a virus. Unfortunately, it somehow was let out. The quarantine protocols were let down by, must have been someone on the staff, and various people from the staff have gone missing.
Do you recall where you were doing your testing?
In my lab.
Where is your lab located? We need to know in case there are others that have come in contact with this virus.
There's no others that have come into contact with the virus. I can assure you of that. I had the only sample.
But if you had the only sample, why would other people go missing?
That's a very good question, Doctor. One I don't have the answer to.
Could you explain that your DNA is not what it seems to be?
How do you mean?
You appear to be one thing, but your blood says another.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. The last time I recall anything, we were being visited by a Starfleet officer. And
The
then,
treatment Go ahead.
and that's when things went badly.
The reason for my inquiry is that you appear to be Klingon in nature, but yet you do not appear to be so.
He appeared human.
I thought he was a changeling.
Yes, but the life signs were showing
He
that
looks
he was
human.
a human. He looks
okay.
human. Yeah.
Okay.
Klingon virus worked on, or Klingon shit worked on the virus.
Oh, I thought that the Viridium was effective on treating a Klingon.
No. The exact opposite.
Oh, I got you. Never mind then. Okay.
Poisonous to Klingons.
Yeah, it's a poison that only works on Klingons.
Back
Fun
that
fact
up.
for you kids, it's the same poison that was used to kill High Chancellor Kempek in Star Trek The Next Generation.
Gotcha.
Boo.
It's helpful to Klingons in the way if they want to not be alive anymore.
Poison is a weak assassin.
I gotcha.
Poison for Cusco.
Do you know of anyone that would be wanting to sabotage your work?
Plenty of people, but your Starfleet officer, Roman, assured me that my research would be kept safe.
So, at what point did your research you were testing the virus, and then all of a sudden the containment failed, and you were infected with the virus?
It would appear that that's how it went, yes.
The thing is that this virus is of Klingon nature.
I can assure you it's not. I created it myself.
Oh? Would you care to explain its origin?
Don't you know? I was under orders from Starfleet itself to do it.
And why is that?
I was merely asked to see if I could create a virus that could be used on metamorphic DNA. That's why that Officer Roman was inspecting our work.
And somehow you came in contact with the virus accidentally.
As a little reminder to CS, Roman was the guy that stole that thing from us and teleported out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember him. Is it possible that you were sabotaged?
I mean, it's possible, but who by and why?
Unfortunately, this Roman character is not the first time we have heard of him.
But he also commissioned my work. Why would he sabotage what he asked for in the first place?
It's more than likely because he asked you to create something, and when you succeeded, he then decided to take what you had created and ran with it.
How illogical. I will never understand you mono-shaped species.
And why is that?
You think in just 2 dimensions.
Then enlighten me in this third dimension that I seem to be missing.
Can you change your form?
No, because the form that I have is the one that I was born with.
Then you could never hope to understand. It would be like trying to explain the color of grass to you.
So because I am a mono form, you think I lack the intelligence of comprehending what you say?
Yes.
Have you thought about trying?
Why waste my time? Just this conversation is proof enough I'm already correct in my assertion.
And what is that?
That you couldn't possibly hope to think outside of your little box.
Well, my little box is what saved your life. I think
I thought
an
it was the
order of
nurses.
thank you. I think an order of thanks would be an order for saving your life.
Naturally, of course. Thank you for doing your job. Well done. If I had the strength, I'd give you a round of applause.
Well, for now, I think we'll let you get some rest. And I put the patient back to sleep.
To you too. Captain Talor and senior bridge crew heading back to the bridge.
I mean, I was heading to engineering theoretically to install the new parts,
Okay.
Pro 2 and I will head to the bridge.
Okay.
fix the ship so we could leave. Yeetus.
Makes sense.
Post haste.
Yeah,
As you-
as soon.
Sorry, go
No, I'll let you paint the room.
on. No,
first.
you go. Trust me.
Or because I was just going to say, as power starts to begin returning, I was going to try and scan for whatever might have shut us down.
You'll find no abnormalities or subspace eddies or anything of this like.
Oh
But on the ship.
man!
As
What about-
Captain Talor enters onto the bridge, Folon approaches her. Captain, Main power is being worked on and restored right now, thanks to your great hard work. However, there is some sad news I must report. It seems, whilst main power was offline, someone was murdered aboard the ship. I have already informed Starfleet, and they are dispatching a JAG officer immediately to get to the cause of it.
And this was done while we were gone.
One can only assume so, but following protocols, we have, of course, sailed off the quarters in which the man was murdered.
Are we directed to head back or keep going to Starbase 343?
We should go to Starbase 343 and begin to return to Starbase 11. The JAG officer will meet us en route.
Understood.
They're usually quite prompt. Reminds me of my 8th wife. She hated being late. Quite vigorously.
I thought she left you.
She did. I was late one time. For dinner. At my own house.
I am sorry to hear that. Thank you
It's
for
all
the
right.
information.
I got another wife soon after who was much better with timekeeping, but a little bit too relaxed on it. We never ended up making it on time for anything. It's really quite annoying sometimes. It's very hard finding that correct balance with time and people, I find, and that was how I ended up marrying my 9th wife.
Congratulations.
Well, we're not married anymore.
I'm sure you're very happy with the wives you still have. Thank you, full on.
I
Dismissed.
consider... Alright, go fuck yourself
Fuck
now.
out of here. Fuck out of here.
And that's where
Ain't no
we
one
shall
want to hear about your shit.
bring an end to this episode of
Da da
Calamity.
da. Tune in Saturday.
Yes, next game is
Murder and mayhem.
Saturday. So we shall be back 20th for the follow-up game to this. We've got by Gaslight Wednesday and 2 days time, Nitro.
Tuesday my time. Yeah.
Yes.
So 2 days
2
time.
days.
You'll be playing through War for Cybertron right here.
Yeah, more Transformers. More Shiver nerding out for a couple hours.
More Shiver missing targets.
No, I'll be the one missing. I was the one playing last time.
And of course, he doesn't like the platform element either.
And don't forget, you and I are both on the Bullet Club on Friday. That one's 22:30 UTC.
I've got
So-
a shitload of writing to do, it seems.
Yeah.
We have special guests for next episode of U.S.S. Pendragon.
Ooh.
And hopefully you'll see
Person who's been
these.
weird.
Hopefully you'll see these familiar faces when we come back for the next Pendragon game.
I'll be here. I think it's going to be a little bit earlier, though, on Saturday.
Yes,
So-
hour earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Talor, who are you and where can we find you? Do we have links for them?
Somewhere.
For those two, I think they do. We do. Sam doesn't do social media, so I could
I
have made a
have
command
nothing.
for
You
them.
can find me nowhere.
I don't blame
Exactly.
you.
The only smart person here.
Hey, I don't have any social media either. That doesn't make
Yes, you
sense.
Without the
do.
apostrophe.
You have Twitter through Table of Horrors. That's social media.
Nitro does
Yeah, I
it
run
now.
that.
I don't.
Technically, Discord's kind of social media, too.
Yeah.
He only talks to us, though.
It's because we're the only ones he can tolerate.
Nitro, who are you and where can we find you?
I'm everywhere at Nitro Type at. That's it. I already said everything else I'm being on this week, so.
And last but not least, For now. No, that's not right. Lieutenant Kind, who are you and where can we find you?
I'm Canadian Syrup. You can find me on Relay. You can find me.
Blue
You
screen.
can find me on the internet. That's where you can find me.
I was gonna say
fair.
he's going to bed in like 5 minutes.
We can find him in bed in 5 minutes.
Yes, yes, you can.
Sam, thank you for joining us as Lieutenant Commander Zace. Games
Oh,
aren't
I had
always
fun.
this chaotic. Not quite true, but yeah. And we hope to see you again for the 20th, if not another one.
Yes, I might be a little bit late for that. I get off literally half an hour before that, so.
Yeah, so do I. Oh, you mean
Welcome
work?
to
Sorry.
Yeah, yes.
That was CS tonight. He was getting it last minute.
I'll give it to him last minute.
Takes me half an hour to skateboard home, so.
Well,
Thank you all for coming.
fancy.
We'll go with raiding
Fancy
on
skateboarding home?
Ken Daddy, who looks like he's currently boarding a collector's ship on Mass Effect 2. But of course, we can't go
Nice.
until Canadian Sip says the line.
Oh, there's a couple different ones I could say right now.
Pick one.
Bob the Builder.